That's the thing as well. Like when I was living in the Midlands as well, like it was mainly my older mates that were into it. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't really anyone my age and stuff. Like, and then when I moved here, it was you, them guys, you guys, and this and that. And loads of you, I was like, oh fuck, it's like nearly everybody.
Yeah.
Bristol, like, yeah. Whereas Midlands, it was just pockets of people. It seemed like, do you know what I mean? But
were you born up there then?
Nah, I was born over in Boston, in Lincolnshire.
Okay.
So I lived there till I was about 8. So it's a really random one because my parents grew up with each other in Slough. So my dad lived in this place called Datchet. It was like a little estate. And my mum had moved to a school, whatever, when they were 10. So they were like, they were like always items in the high school and stuff, and shit like that.
So,
but then like they split up whenever, like college age. Well, my old man went to work when he was 14, and my mum stayed and went to college and all that. And so they ended up. My mum happened to be driving back in that area to see some people. Dropped into my grandparents at the time, and she just split with her ex. They said, "Oh well, here's like my old man's Rog. Like, oh, here's Roger's address." And that was that. So yeah, it's mad. They actually know each other that long. Yeah. And then that was it. She moved down there a few years later. I was born down there. But she was living where I ended up growing up as well. So after I was 8,
which is where?
Upton, just outside Worcester. So then she was like, well look, it's just I can't remember some stuff had gone up with my dad there. Just nothing major, but like a few bits and bobs. Like just said, let's just go over the other. Let's move basically the other side of the Midlands. So I ended up living there till I was like, how old did I move here? Don't know, probably about. Well, I don't know. I was living in Worcester till I was 20 or so.
Were you
come
like,
to here
into the music at that point, or were you?
Yeah.
Did you start making music when you were up in like Midlands, Worcester?
Yeah. I started making music really when don't know, 16 I guess, something, because I was playing bass. Like a lot of my mates were in bands and all that. Yeah. So like I had my mates were, it was a sort of different friendship group, Like I had mates that like really like their drum and bass and garage and what have you and that, and then I had like my mates that liked like hardcore and metal and what have you, and I used to go down Birmingham a lot because there was a big scene for that there, grindcore and stuff like that. So like I didn't know how to make beats or anything. I knew I liked making beats, but I didn't know how, so I used to like jam with a couple of mates. I bought a bass guitar and learned to play bass, and I ended up being in like this band where I had our mate like MC and what have you, and it was cool, man. It was alright. We were like young, like 17 to like 18 or something, and then I started recording at home. And that's when I started making beats because I was coming up with ideas with like tunes there,
What did you start with? What software?
It was a version of Pro Tools, like Pro Tools. I just bought an MBox 1. Don't know if did you ever see them back in the day?
Mate, I'm not the producer, man.
Do you remember them? The
Pro
MBoxes?
Tools when you used to have the outboard as well, yeah? Yeah.
The old MBox looked like a Ghostbuster trap sort of thing, didn't they? You
Is
had to
it?
have that to work, like, It was a good bit of kit, but like, just for recording.
Pro Tools was sick, it still is, isn't it?
It's like, it was that or Logic back then, wasn't it, for like industry stuff, but it was like a light version of it that you got with the interface. So
Yeah.
I used to go around like mates and record them if they like needed to record. I used to just take that round. That's how I got into it really, and then went to college and that, and met other people into music and stuff. But there wasn't that many people doing hip hop around my way though. Nah, you had a crew called Case Closed, which they were doing all right for a bit. Like they used to go down London quite a bit. They'd done tunes like Mongo and all that back then. Not Mongo. Who's the other guy? Fester from Mudfam and all that. And they used to go down there and do stuff with them. There's a crew called Subcon which did quite a lot of nights and what have you. And these guys are all like, old school dudes. You know what I mean, they're probably 15 years. And
what time? Like what kind of time was this? Like what year?
Oh shit.
Like roughly, was it like when UK hip hop was just before the like kind of dip, or was it like more towards when it started coming back up on the fucking 2011 kind of times? Like?
Round about then, I guess, just before, probably 2008, 2009. So you'd have had like Rhyme Asylum with that sort of era, Cactus and Press sort of times, and where Low Life had gone and there wasn't quite high focus yet. At that time.
Yeah,
right?
It's kind of harder to find UK hip hop at that time.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
I struggled to find it. You know what I mean? Maybe I wasn't looking because I was making it or whatever. But I suppose you don't look as hard as when you're. Yeah, I mean, there was obviously still stuff going on. I'm not saying there was nothing happening.
No, there wasn't loads there, definitely.
But yeah, compared to like 2011 or before, in like the early 2000s and then like late 90s, I saw it was popping there.
Yeah. And Dirty Dockers are from my way as well.
Yeah.
So they were like, because I knew Lou from Dockers when he was at college with my mate Ed, and they needed a live instrument to pass their course. They were doing music tech, until I played bass. So I just went and played bass on a beat of theirs, and that was that. And met Lou.
So,
Man, he used to be called. I saw him the other week in Birmingham randomly. I went down for like my mate's stag weekend. Just walked around the corner from the hotel was saying he was there with his missus Fan. And I was like, you know what I mean? I hadn't seen Lou for years. Like, but yeah, he used to be called Louis G.
Louis G.
Yeah,
I know.
my mate used to call him Luigi.
That
was it. Like, so he was Louis G back then. And
That's
then, yeah, then they went and did their thing, and you know they were doing their bits, weren't they? Leaf and all that for a bit, and so yeah, I reckon that must be about. Well, by then that must have at least been 2011ish, wasn't it?
That was like 2012, 2013 times, I think.
Oh, so maybe I've got to jump to a bit then, but so.
I don't know. Maybe I'm my fucking.
I mean, I might think about it back then. I remember because like he used to do, used to do, you know, like because the Dockers style was their own style, wasn't it? The silly Malvern slang and all that, and the silly sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like when I met him, he was spitting bars and making beats, and it was
like on a more like orthodox.
Pretty much. I'd say like it was still him, but you know what I mean. It was just hip hop. Rather than what they turned out to be, like, you know, which is him and Tommy being like
crazy fucking wild shit.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
when did you first do Nodstock? I swear that was how I met you first time.
Man,
early,
Twizzy and Jinx.
Was that the first time? Really?
Well, I used to go there a lot because I used to live near Bromley.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I first met. That's where I met loads of you lot.
Yeah.
Definitely met that kid first time there.
Yeah, it was like that was we were there like 5 years in a row, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah,
I played there 2009 and 10. Those 2 years.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. What with Bastard Sons?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Christmas stage, wasn't it?
Bastard Sons.
Yeah, Sicker stage. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, video.
Yeah, the bullpen. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Right.
So it comes back round to Chris a lot, man.
Nearly every.
I spoke to him. He's in He's in like Vietnam or some shit. Yeah. Like getting rare samples.
I swear he's always out in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Where's Chris? Vietnam.
He's smashed it. He's like, I think he goes out there and like sources links for clothes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure like that's what he's done before. I know he did that before.
Boxer shorts and that, isn't it?
Yeah. All sorts of shit. Do you know what I mean? I rate that. Like go and find, go to the source, innit, rather than going.
Try and do it online.
Just go there and just be like, right. I want this shit made. Here's my PDF. So
yeah,
but yeah, it's mad how so many people met there, man. The bullpen on Nodstock or whatever. It was fucking
definitely. Because there was only a few other people I met before then, like Pete Cannon. Like I remember him and Syntax coming to Hereford and that when I still lived in Worcester. And I remember supporting them and. They were there, weren't they? And then like the High Focus boys back then, like Baxter Dyke and all them, they were about. Well, I didn't really know them then, but you know, I had played in the bill, so it was just enough to say like, hello, move, keep it moving and that. But it's funny now I think about it with you guys because I moved here a week after, so that must have been that was 2010.
What, when you moved here?
I must have moved the week after that Nodstock.
Right, yeah.
Because I remember that was like my last sort of blowout before I moved with my mates back home and that as well, because I've been around my mates, a guy called Donaldson, who he went to school with me, and he was just always up on his hip hop and his UK stuff. And I remember him playing me Two Kids, literally a few weeks before Nos, because I said, "Oh yeah, well I want to live in Bristol," and he's like, "Oh, have you heard these kids?" And I was like, "Hey, what?" And he
we didn't play that one though, did we? I don't think.
You played?
Did we play that one?
Not that one.
Not that one. I don't
you
think.
went like 11, innit?
Yeah, because I think it would have been 11 and.
That's the one. That was there we go. Then I must have moved then because it was definitely around that time. Because you definitely played. Because I remember.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe I moved. Yeah, maybe it was 2011. I moved then because I remember that being the weird sort of thing about it was I was going to Nos anyway, and you know I knew a few people on Sicko, and I remember Donaldson playing me that tune, you and Luke and that, and then give it a week later I was lodging in Bath for about 6 months at my sister's. She lived there, and then I got my place in Bristol. So. Yeah, it was like a really weird way it all connected. It's like, you're moving there? We'll check these guys out, like, you know. And I think Home by 8 had dropped round then, hadn't it, as well?
Yeah, it dropped, like not long afterwards,
That's it, so like...
You had the chicken on the stage?
That's
could that have been that year? Or was that...
Maybe there was a second one, I don't know.
Oh, right, yeah. That would have been
12
probably.
2012 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was mad at that time because there was so much shit coming out. Like, because we didn't really have, and like, not just us, but like everyone was just kind of just putting shit out. It was easy to get a music video done, like back then. It wasn't so expensive, and like You know what I mean? There were so many shows that it was like just reinvest. Like it's changed now, man. It's not as easy to make things happen. Like just alright, let's make a single and then just put a video out. And
everyone wanted to learn back then. Though. They were just learning.
Yeah, everyone wanted to build portfolios and shit.
So now it's like now I'm good.
Yeah.
Now it's 500.
Fuck's sake. Well, fair play for like.
No, of course.
Because those people are putting the work, and it's like same way we're like go to a show. It's like, well, I need to get paid. You know what I mean? It's the same for everyone. It's good when you get to that stage of everyone paying each other. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I'd been gigging a few years before that anyway.
Yeah.
Because after I'd done the band thing, that was when I was saying like, so making my own beats and recording people, and this is how me and my mate Flo DeCio ended up becoming mates back then. Was because like she was in a crew called Soul Syndicate and what have you. Like, do you know Mark Loffman? I don't know if you guys got him online. He's in a band called Last Tree Squad, like a reggae-ish hip-hop band and that.
I don't know, maybe.
And so he was in that crew. Cutler V was in that as well from Brighton. I forgot Rhythm Food, I think the label he is or something. I probably completely butchered that.
Cutler V, did he do dubstep as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so he was their DJ.
Yeah, okay.
And she was 18 at the time because I would have been like 19 or 20.
He did a big remix. I remember that popped him, innit?
He did. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So like they were already a crew. I was making a few beats but nothing major, and I just remember we were chatting one day and she said, oh well, I need to record, and so I used to just like go over and record, and my mate LT was spitting hip hop at the time, and that's when we made a crew and we started doing gigs then, and like because just with my beats.
Yeah. So, was that with Leonie as well?
I was with Leonie, and we were getting on like local support then. Like at the jailhouse in Hereford. Yeah. You remember that
jailhouse
place?
Is sick, man.
Yeah, that was good. That place.
It kind of changed though when they started playing drum and bass out the back, and then like it was like the third time we played there or some shit, and it was just like, everyone's out the back smoking, listening to drum and bass, like, filled up.
Innit? Yeah, man.
But no, it's sick.
It was a good place for it to stay because you just got to go there, and it was like you get for $5. It didn't matter who was on because you're paying $5, and you could just. And it was a bit lawless back then as well. It didn't matter.
It's good though. You know what I mean? It got real strict, I think. But
oh, massively. Like well, they were having like coppers come in and shut down the venue.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be on the deck, so they'd have to all come off for a minute because the coppers were just in. That was it. They weren't doing anything, just to let you know they were. You know what I mean? It did get a bit like that, but it's a shame. And then it became the venue, and after that, did you ever play when it became the venue where they started trying to?
I don't know.
They basically just sort of refurbed the whole place.
Did they make it red downstairs?
Yeah.
Little red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried to make it like an upmarket
type
club. But they still wanted UK hip hop on, so we were all still getting booked there, and it was like, trying to get us in this. I mean, they were trying to go swanky, but it just looked a bit strip club, didn't it? Like, So
if it is what I remember, 100%.
Yeah, man. Did you play for Ed Lindsay? Big Ed.
Big Ed.
Yeah, so he'd be like 6'4". You wouldn't really miss him, to be fair.
I don't know, man. I can't really remember. I remember like, what's his name? The Truffle Shuffle.
Boggy.
I swear, Boggy booked us. Yeah, shouts to fucking Boggy, man. Boggy killed it for time. He'd get up on stage, and just take his shirt off, and he's a big lad, and just do the Truffle Shuffle, It used to get pretty crazy at those shows, man. People were like bad girls would get on stage and Boggy would get on stage and take his shirt off and shit, and everyone would give it.
It did, man, didn't it? Bloody Boggy, man. Callum.
Callum.
Yeah.
I think it was Callum who booked us, man. I'm not.
Okay, because.
But I say that might have just been like that's one of the strong memories of someone
probably
who's there,
that,
and
to
I'm
be
like,
fair,
I'm putting 2 and 3 together and.
I was going to say Ed Lindsay himself, the other guy Ed used to like run most nights there anyway. Most ones I played at anyway.
What was the night that was like the regular one? Because if it was the regular one that was like at the jailhouse that we played at.
Fat City? They used to have Fat City, which was Boggy's, and then there was 100% Juicy or something, which was Ed's. I can't remember though, like because there just became a point where it just ended up being Jailhouse Presents. Do you know what I mean? And they just did it like that. But Ed, it's quite funny because he ended up getting like this legacy among like the UK hip hop guys. Do you know what I mean? Like with Dabbler and like Pete Cannon. Like Pete, now if you mention Ed, he's just like, you know what I mean? He gets all excited. How is he? Is he alright? Like, you know what I mean? Like they all loved Ed and what have you. And like he was a proper good guy, to be fair. But I just didn't know if you remembered that, if it was even Ed, like, that might have booked you. But
to be fair, like I probably see him and see his face and recognise him, but it's just my brain's like a sieve, man. It's fucking.
But yeah, no, they were good times. I think the first time I've always owed Ed a lot. So big shouts to Ed because he put us on. So our crew was called Lost Fam, which was me making beats, DJing with Leo, with Flo DeCio and LT, and he had us supporting Rodney P and Skits, and that was like the first big gig I'd done. Do you know what I mean? Apart from local stuff, and I remember then just being like, yeah, I think you know those ones where you're just like, oh,
fully,
man, you know, feeling it. And I remember the same old typical thing. Took my Serato, backed it up on CD. Also bought a USB just in case anything went wrong. And Serato didn't work, did it? So I was just like, CDs. And so I was immediately starting the set like, but it was fine. It went all right. And yeah, that was the first time I met P and Skits. So yeah, and Skits has always like shown. Well, Rodney has too, but I've seen Skits more over the years. And yeah, he's a good guy, man.
Yeah, and
that was like the proper sort of like. Yeah, that was a proper feel-good moment there, like, you know, first gig supporting them, so yeah, it was alright, man, not bad.
Yeah, sick, man. I remember the first time I met P and Skits, and it was at the launch of this fucking sick video. It was like a single they dropped.
Right.
I don't know if it was Darrison. I can't remember.
I think I know the tune you mean. Right?
Yeah, and we got booked to play that, like Skits hooked it up or whatever, and after the show, we were like, oh, can we get some drink or whatever?
Yeah.
And Mary was like, Bad Habits was like, yeah, we'll just go ask fucking P and Skits, man. They'll hook it up. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, you know them. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, you go ask them, innit? You go ask them. Like, we don't know them and shit. And he went over and was just like, yeah, come over.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rodney P just like, what did he do? He was like, give me your glass then. So I had like a pint glass or whatever. Just gave him a pint glass. Empty pint glass, and he just filled up to like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean, a third of a pint glass with the fucking Jack D,
yeah.
And he was like, go on then, and I was like, all right, yeah, I was like, give it the big man, yeah. So I just necked it back, and just like, I was like, fucking just handled it, because I was like, I'm not, you know what I mean, I'm just handling this shit, and like went to give the glass to up front, and he's like, no, you want to drink the big man, yeah? And I was just like,
mate.
And he's like. Did the same thing again and was like, go on. I was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Just like neck that back, yeah. He did it 3 times, man.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, and like him and Skits were just cracking up, like fucking. And then he did like he gave a fuckload to Luke as well, and just gave us like a drink token and was like, safe. Yeah. And then I did like the next thing I remember was like battling like the DJ we drove up with in the car on the way back because he kept on calling me Sarah or some shit.
Oh,
like,
mate.
Yeah.
Oh, fair. Yeah, I remember like with that night as well. Not that, you know, to be fair, like you just sort of outdone it as well. But like
I wasn't trying to outdo it.
No. Like
the show was bad, man. We were outside the show and some girl was like, "I thought you were supposed to be good."
That was the first review. Yeah.
Oh, what? So you like? So what? Did you go on after that?
Nah, we did it before, but like it was just. I don't know, we were young and like real young in the game, and we, you know what I mean, our performance probably wasn't great.
Yeah.
And to be supporting that slot, maybe it should have been a bit better, right? And maybe like, you know what I mean, and
yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just a funny old occasion. Like.
It's a funny one as well when you're like that young and you know you're with people that like you know you've looked up to and whatever as well, innit? Because like I remember after that, because Rod and. Skits watching our set as well the whole time, and I remember sort of being a bit conscious of it because I'm sort of on decks, I'm looking up corner of mine like they're still there. Yeah, they were there to the end of my interview. And I remember Skits being like, oh, are those your beats? And I was so like, you know, my heart was just like gas, like, you know. It sounds really funny now because obviously it's just cool, isn't it? Like, you know. But like, but at the time when you're that young, you're just like, you know. And I was like, yeah. And he stuck out his hand and shook my hand, and it must have been the most nervous handshake I've ever done. My arm must have been like that, like, oh yeah, it sounds like, you know what I mean? Like, and then we all went back to Leone's, so they came back with us, and so we were all having a few drinks and that. And I remember Skits offering me a cider. I don't drink cider, and I was just like, I'm gonna take that anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? Just get my way through it, like, yeah, sounds like, you know, because I was, But it's funny those feelings, isn't it? Because when you get them at the start,
man.
And obviously you know, you get used to stuff, don't you? And you don't really get that again. But I suppose it's better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't.
Now I think about it as well. And probably at the time I would have been like,
really like get it again with like, but I do still feel like sometimes I meet like people that have like
Chasing your first line, isn't it?
Like looked up to or whatever, and some people, it's. I just think it's refreshing when fucking people are safe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
when,
100%.
when the people you admire or whatever, or who've like influenced you, when they're nice people, and you can actually have like not like go up to them and be like like.
Oh,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? When
yeah.
that shit, that's just corny, fucking, and it is awkward, and it's like, ugh. But like, just being able to approach like the people that have influenced you is like a good thing, man.
Yeah, definitely that as well. Like,
because otherwise you get people hating you, man.
Yeah,
you would like.
Yeah.
I did. Like, I fucking hate it when people were like social me. It was just like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah, everything I thought about you.
Yeah, you're dead to me.
Man.
Music dead.
I just
Video's
used-
dead.
I just used to go and expecting the worst. You know what I mean? Like, not expect to meet no one.
Yeah.
If you do, they're probably going to be a dick. Do you know what I mean? So at least when they were cool, it was like refreshing.
Yeah.
So I never used to. So even though that night I thought, I'll probably not even see them. Do you know what I mean, or whatever? And the fact they were cool made it good. You know.
Mm.
But yeah, so that was. So yeah, that was where it started. I reckon Jailhouse properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
And then, like from Jailhouse, obviously Bristol. When was it that you moved to Bristol? After that, like, was it like during playing loads of shows there, or?
Yeah, I was still playing there, but maybe a year and a bit.
Yeah.
Not long.
Did you come here for uni, or were you just moved there?
Got away, like one of them really. So, well, I think at the time, the crew kind of split in a way.
Yeah.
Like, so my mate T his heart wasn't really into hip hop. He liked doing the gigs and everything, but just trying to record or write or nothing. So we weren't really getting anything out of him. Leonie was pregnant with Caden then at the time, so that was kind of like writing was on the wall a bit. And I'd started another crew with a couple of other mates, like a guy called Outcry and Notty, who like I knew Outcry as a battle rapper, right? He was cool because we didn't like him back in the day. He always used to turn up and he was that guy, but he was confident with it, like going, go on then, I'll battle you to any of my MCs. I was like, not this fucking guy again. Do you know what I mean? Like them ones. But he was a cool guy, and like obviously got to know him, realised he was sound, he was just mad confident, and he was good as well. And so we did this crew called B Noise Collective, right? And that was like it wasn't just your straight hip hop. It was a bit glitchy and what have you as well. So I had a lot of fun making those types of beats and just making it a bit different. But like it was for support slots, and we were aiming for festivals, clubs, and that anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because it was just like bassiest or glitch hop type sort of influence, but still rap beats. It wasn't too far that it was full glitch hop, if that makes sense. It was just enough to have something a bit different in it at the time.
But makes sense for festivals and that, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
well,
a different vibe, innit, man?
I was getting quite into a lot of that stuff because around that time you had like a lot of the ghetto funk stuff come out too, and I loved all that.
Sick,
I loved all that too because I could mix that when I was doing a DJ set with hip hop and stuff anyway. Because it was like
it's pretty much the same BPM.
You have some old school stuff like some Lords of the Underground or something, and it was like 110, and you'd have their beats and it'd work, and like. So I wanted to do like a crew based on that search, but then again that just all it was Notty went travelling and Sean just properly settled down in the end, and so that kind of ran its course. And it was around then I was thinking of moving. Yeah, I think I just moved when we put out an EP. So
Leonie moved here as well now, isn't it?
And then she moved here a few years later. Yeah, that's the point actually. Yeah, originally because that's why I wanted to come to Bristol anyway. Because we'd said years before like, let's move, and then I did it. If you know what I mean, because obviously she was settled there with Caden and what have you. So like, that's how the thing came to me wanting to come to Bristol anyway. It was out of conversation with Leonie. So yeah, man. It's like,
a lot of people move from like, I mean, Bristol's like the main city in the south, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Like I suppose it's like the one to move to in the south, man.
I mean, Brum was closer to us,
Bristol, Brighton, London.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but
I suppose up those ways,
Yeah, it didn't really have the same feel.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really know much about what was going on there at the time. Like, I think you had Sunny Jim in that.
Yeah.
Which is they're all doing their thing, but it just didn't seem like there was as much going on. And I still didn't really know that many like rappers in Bristol before me. Apart from obviously, as I was saying, you guys like weeks before.
Yeah.
Is when you dropped that stuff. And
do you know Milo then?
Huh?
Did you know Milo then?
Yeah. I did know Milo then. Yeah,
How
I
did
can't
you
remember how.
heard of them?
I can't remember.
No, it would have been Nostock, man. I swear. Early.
Well, no, but I sort of knew who he was before then, and I don't know whether
Yeah.
the stuff he did before, like
Cohorts,
what was his
yeah,
crew
something.
before?
I knew
Yeah.
Cohorts
I
and
knew
that.
Milo was,
Cohorts, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Everyone who knows Milo knew who he was like 4 years before, but they don't know how.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically
met him
that.
at something somewhere, like, and
Because
then
we
there's
were
a
already
crazy
in contact,
story.
and he'd moved to the Philippines, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh right then. Okay. Yeah.
I guess, or
Yeah.
at least I had lived here and still not linked with him. There must have been some
Oh, is that
overlap
when
where
you come here when he went to the Philippines?
it was around that
the same
time because
Okay,
I'm
right.
sure
I know exactly
like
when you moved there now,
we were
right.
still chatting online and whatever. Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
thing, da da da. Then he'd moved to Philippines.
Yeah,
so
because
I
it wasn't
missed
until
that.
he came back that we did the league stuff.
That's
wasn't
right.
it?
Yeah, because I met him in a I remember meeting him properly face to face. Yeah, it was in Golden Lion, and I'd walk past and he just mouthed off at me in the pub. Like he stood there, a load of people, and all he said, it was nothing really too much, but he just said, "Oi mate, do you like pirate music?" And then he's just laughing, doing that laugh he has, like ha ha ha, that fucking stupid laugh he has, like. And I was just like, and I was just like, the fuck's that guy, whatever. Walked on. Then I sort of stopped and I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Oh mate, are you Milo?"
I know this story.
Have you heard this?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait, are you Milo Stone?" He's like, "Might be." Like that, do you know what I mean? Still trying to be like, "No, you twat, it's Billy." We were chatting earlier, and he's like, "Oh, same." Like, fucking prick. Like, so yeah, that's literally how I ended up meeting him face to face.
I
Like,
love Milo, man.
He's a funny fucker.
he is, isn't he, man? Like, yeah. So and then that was that really, and me and him became good friends, and then properly met you lot. Like,
Yeah.
So
When was that? When was that?
The league
Was
stuff
that-
was later, wasn't it? That
League
was
was probably
14, maybe 2014.
Was
it
that when
earlier
League
than that?
was?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe this was like a year or two before before League was out anyway.
Okay, right, yeah.
Because I remember he'd started it, but only.
Well, me and him started the whole thing, innit, in my house.
2013, that makes sense.
Psycho, yeah.
Around them
But
times.
that was when he was back, because when he got back from Philippines, we said on this podcast, innit, like I had a place that I was looking after,
Yeah.
and I had it for 2 months.
Ah,
And
yeah.
that's how he got back. Cause, well,
He just came back to stay with
so
you.
it's theirs. You got 2 months
Yeah.
to get shit together. You can stay there, whatever. Innit?
That's it.
And that
Yeah,
would have been around 13, 14, I think.
yeah. That must have been it then, because I remember he was living in where was it? Kind of near Clifton-ish, wasn't it? There was a bed sit. He just got into that.
Oh, he was top of
Redland.
Redland. Yeah.
Redland, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
that was
remember he
just
just
after that,
started
yeah.
it then, like the
Yeah.
league stuff.
What,
So-
above the fucking estate agents?
Nah, he was in
Nah.
a bed sit round the back by the pub by the Clyde Arms, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. So he just started that then, and oh yeah, because in between time he put out the thing with Purse, hadn't he? The end of level boss.
Yeah.
We
That's
stopped,
right.
We stopped Bastard Sons,
That's right.
then end of level boss, and then we did the league, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That was just a one drunken conversation. Milo's like,
What League was?
Yeah, the League
Yeah.
of Shadows.
Yeah.
I mean, we both liked it from Batman, innit? That League of Shadows.
Yeah.
is sick, innit?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, we should just be the league. Like, me and you are the only league there ever will be anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it. I didn't really do anything else.
I can imagine that as well. Like when he comes out with that stuff, he's like, "Realest guys around me." Like,
Yeah.
I've done this to you. Like, when he says all that, like, it cracks me up. But actually, well before that, I missed out a massive chunk of it as well. Like knowing Twizzy and Jinx.
No, what before that again? Yeah.
When I was living in the Midlands still.
Yeah.
Oh, what, you were working with them?
Well, not them, Mab.
Oh, mad,
Okay,
yeah.
This is
yeah.
random,
Did the
man.
three-headed beast, didn't
Yeah,
it?
just before they started the Head of
For
Beast.
some reason in my head, I've just always like thought you were from Bristol. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like just surrounding. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I don't know why. Like, I never really. Yeah, it's interesting to know. Like,
I just turned up one day, didn't I?
so sorry. So you were
Yeah,
working
no.
with
So Mab,
with Mab,
right?
yeah.
This is random too, because there was like this guy in America at the time who just over Facebook, whatever. He was a good MC. I was sending beats and what have you. And he just sent me that. Do you remember that Charlie Sloth used to do Fire in the Streets for people trying to get on Fire in the Streets?
Yeah.
And Mab was on that. And this American guy sent it over to me, and I don't see the resemblance here, but he was like, "Hey, this kid looks like you." Like that. And it was a video of Mab spitting in the phone box. Yeah, I was like, "You don't look like me." You know what I mean? I was just like...
The American guys, like, they're
Yeah.
all English.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're wearing a flat peak, and that's it.
Yeah,
You look the same. Whatever. But anyway, I was like, he's good though, this kid. And that was that. And I ended up, I had his links or whatever to social media. So anyway, I ended up speaking to Mab from that. And that was and then we did a tune years ago called Iron Asylum, because originally I wanted Possessed on it from Rhyme Asylum, and a few others. You know how it is though with collabs people do, and they drop out. But then we ended up getting, it was Iron Braids and Mab on it, and it was quite a good little track. I just did, this is like the first sort of little project I did just to try and push some stuff out there, like after my crews had split up. So me and Mab were already in contact, and then he decided he had a beast, and with that, pretty much like when I was moving, Twiz was like, oh well, if you're moving here, come round or whatever, and just end up. But Jinx on the other hand, I knew who Jinx was as well before I moved here, right? And this is a random one. So I went to see Ill Bill when it used to be the Croft. That was one of my first nights out in Bristol. I was like 18, 19 or whatever. Come up to Ill Bill. Sick. Man, like, it's funny if I think about that place now to what it is.
No, it's mad, man. I used to clean that place.
Did you?
I cleaned it, I cleaned it for like a few months.
They used to have like the split nights, so they'd have like a mad metal night in there.
Yeah, that was the first place
and then after
we ever
11 it'd be a hip hop night. We used to have to go in there and the BO was just...
No, man.
That
shit happened.
BO levels.
It was
what,
crazy.
Like a full-on gig, and then
another
night.
And then they'd be passing down, and we'd be like getting ready to go in and set up.
Actually, that reminds me of we used to have Worcester, a place called Evolution. Me and my mate G, we used to run nights there, and that's pretty much the setup they had. Now I think about it, because I used to be in there as well. Because like my mate's band, my mates were in this band called Dissidents at the time, right? And they were quite cool. They were like sort of like groove metally kind of hardcore sort of thing. So. You know what I mean? It was fast and loud, but they basically weren't talking about devils and that. You know what I mean? They were just talking about punching people in the face. Like it was basically the way to sum up that sort of band. But like, I remember, I used to go then see them. Yeah, now I think about it. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It would be like, you have a full-on metal gig and there'd be like pits and everything. Then it was clean up club times like that.
Yeah, actually.
So I remember being there watching them, like, all right, no, I just remember literally walking up to the decks and going, yep, see you in a bit. Like, I'm
go. I just missed out the clean up bit in the Croft, didn't it? You used to just walk into a mist of body odor.
Well, and just cans, like infinite cans on the floor and shit, and little plastic cups.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but it was sick though, because you what you could do is like, you charge on so everyone comes in, they get the bar, and you get the back room.
Yeah.
And you just charge in the back room, but people would go in and then come out to get a drink, and then more people could come in.
Yeah.
So you could like fill the room up like 3 times.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It was like,
fair.
Alright. But then obviously it all switched up. It got a lot smaller and shit. It was sick, man. It was fucking sick. I was like,
and that's the thing about that gig was the warm up for that was this random hardcore band called Sons of Nothing, which like I didn't expect either. You know, I didn't mind, but like there's a few people like in the crowd, what have you, like fucking sticking middle fingers up at them and stuff.
Is
you know
it?
I mean? Yeah, really giving them shit. Now they said in this one tune, this tune usually features a grime MC called Jinxter. And so when I got back home after getting, and the other support was Tough Touch.
Okay.
Soch and Cali Miss.
Yeah.
Because it took me ages when I was out with Soch being like, I swear I know him. So, fucking hell, Ill Bill, like, and he looked at me like I was mental. How the fuck do you remember that?
That's mad.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, you pieced that together. So Jinx didn't play at the show.
He didn't play, but they just mentioned it.
And then you went back and researched him, like.
Because I looked at this band, though, it interested me because I was like, they did a tune with MC. All right, that's my kind of thing anyway.
Shout out Jinx as well, mate.
Yeah.
Wicked
now,
man. I love Jinx.
But the thing is, even then, like, I started following what Jinx was doing, but MySpace. This was MySpace days, so MySpace dies off, what have you. And then you got this, a few more years later, it's Facebook and that, and then I still haven't put 2 and 2 together, like until I was out. It's a similar thing. I was out with Jinx, and it just hit me one day. I was like, hang on a minute, did you do a tune with a hardcore band? And, what the fuck, like, sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So, I'd say to him, like, yeah, mate, I went to that gig, and I think he had another book with like, when he used to do 1027 and all that. They had a show somewhere, or something like that, so Jinx couldn't make that, and it was like, that was just weird, do you know what I mean? But it took, just one night suddenly hit me, like, oh yeah, you were that guy, I remember fucking following you back then, weird, and then, so... But it was Twiz really that got me properly involved. Like, if you're moving here and
what with like the heads in Bristol and shit like that.
Yeah, the B stuff, and that, and Milo got me like in touch with you lot properly, like being out and that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it was mad how much like everyone used to be out. Obviously, that's just what happens. You know what I mean? People grow up and get families or fucking.
Yeah.
Oscar, do you reckon you could shut that window a little bit? It's fucking cold, man.
Yeah.
Freezing.
Do you reckon I can control it?
Yeah.
What was that?
Just being out in that, like, you know, around those times.
It was just like, I just remember going to like shows and shit when there was like everyone there.
Yeah.
And then on top of everyone there who's like still doing bits now and still like within the scene and making music and shit. Everyone was there like from that group of people.
Yeah.
And a load of students and fans and fucking.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what I mean? Everything comes around, but there's just a lot less clubs in Bristol. Man. Yeah. Everything's getting fucking shut down.
Yeah.
I knew Crazy before I moved here too.
Is it?
Because
from Fuck You TV or?
Nah, he there was this MC from around my way, he's drum and bass guy, and he was just a bit of a clown. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember personally, this guy who was making hip hop and stuff, being like, "Oh, give me some, face to face. Oh, yeah, give me some beats, yeah." And I didn't rate him, so I was just always trying to, you know, just weren't being like full out no, but I was just like, "Oh, we'll see." You know, those ones where really, you know, get the hint a bit. I don't want to blatantly say your shit. Those ones, like, and he was terrible, and I'm not gonna lie. And so one day he was saying to me, "No, I need something." And I said, "Oh man," and I thought at the time I was broke as fuck. I was like, "Alright, I'll make you a beat for." I pulled some number out of my head, 80 quid. Something wasn't even worth it really. But I was just like, "Oh yeah," and he was like, "Yeah." So, okay. Now obviously never heard nothing about it, and he tried putting me on blast about it online. Literally made a post going, "Billy Whizz, where the fuck are these beats then?" And I said, "Where the fuck's my money?" And so he's going, "I don't pay for beats," and all this stuff. And of course he tried to have people backing him, all this bullshit. The next one he did, he put out a video himself, this guy. And it was hilarious because they were driving around in a rented Merc and all that bullshit. And they were trying to make it look real good. And they were just down by the fountains in Worcester with like some horrible, like, sketty fucking, like, Wandenbergs and that. Like,
Southwest
and
side.
horrible shit, mate. Like, and it was so bad. And loads of people obviously taking the piss out of the video. Like, why are you driving around in a Beamer or a Merc when you ain't got one? Why are you doing that? And he was like going, "Oh, all you lot are thick as fuck, yeah? Clearly we've rented it. Don't you know how the music industry works?" And all this shit, yeah? Really making himself look a twat. And Crazy jumped on the post having a go. And I can't remember to this day what he was saying, but obviously Crazy was rinsing this fucking guy. And just purely off that, I was like, this guy's fucking hilarious. And I just added him on Facebook, like, out of that. Yeah. And we were speaking and, like, yeah, and it's just really rinsing him, like, just properly. And the same guy saying to Crazy, like, "Yeah, well, yeah, because I think because Crazy used to do his D&B, like MC and that. He's like, "Next time I come to Bristol, how about I punch you in the face?" And Crazy's like, "Alright, cool. If you think you can, cool." Like, not even getting aggy back, just being like, you know, didn't take him serious at all. Like, so just from that, and I messaged him then, being like, "Mate, that's funny as fuck." And then I used to just see him at festivals or whatever you are and about, and like, yeah, just one of them to ended up actually going over, introducing myself and that. So yeah, I knew Crazy before I moved here too, but just off him being a funny bastard, basically. Like, yeah, just rated him for that. But those days are funny, man. Like, you know, like you were saying, there used to be quite a lot of us out, didn't there?
Yeah, it was a
fucking unit for a while.
Yeah.
Man.
I remember at one point, like, there was a crew of us, like, this was kind of just before, like maybe just before the music started, like, kind of popping for us or whatever, yeah. Yeah, like then, but like even like around them times and just before, like when we was just before we met Bad Habits, basically there was this little period for us where there was like just fucking crew. Do you know what I mean? Like so many people out and about, and it's just like everywhere we go, it'd just be like a swarm, like 20, 30 people. Do you know what I mean? And we were all fucking tight, like. It was crazy.
It's still like that now, it's still like loads of people in it, but
it is, and I'm probably, I just don't go out.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just missing out on it, but I'm not missing out. You know what I mean?
No, fuck that,
I can remember sort of those days, and I suppose when you're like, you know, so what would you have been in early mid-20s, everybody mainly. When we
were all fucking jamming, that was like I was like 23.
Like
21. That was 2011. So like, from 21 to like.
Yeah. Like, I remember one of my first sort of nights out, and I think we just, I can't even remember who I was out with. Probably Crazy and them like back then. And I remember us walking past the Crofters and seeing you outside, and there was like, you were there. That he was on the phone, and Sam, like Bill Nex, was just outside doing some dead arms with some randomer from the back, and it was just loads of you there all stood around, like, and I was just like, these are the boys, like, you know what I mean? Because it just reminded me of when my lot were younger a bit as well, and I was just like, yeah, that's a crew, that is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just, you know, those ones, you sort of all a bit pissed, like, yeah.
Yeah, it used to get fucking rowdy, man.
Funny as fuck days, mate. And my favourite time being out with everyone. Who was it? Somebody had given it the big one anyway. Oh, we'll go to Lakota. Oh, I know Thingy's on the door tonight. It'll be alright. We'll get in. Of course, you go there. ain't that person, is it? So
No
none of
one's
us can
getting
fucking get in, right? And it was me, Crazy, Drills, maybe a guy called Benny or someone like that.
Benny, Big Ben.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in years, man.
A
few others, Lux, Milo was out as well. I'll tell you what, this was after, I think you guys have played down at Attic on one of the many times anyway. It was down at Attic, so there was a load of us anyway. So we'd all gone down there. So we can't get in. And they're like, oh, it's alright, we'll go under. Remember where the barbecue used to be outside?
Yeah.
Going under the barbecue. So like, oh, we'll just do that, let's go under the barbecue. And, so we're all going through. Crazy goes through, Drills goes through, I go through, and somebody gets stopped behind me. And it was Lux. I'm like, how did he get stopped? He was trying to sneak his BMX into Lakota. Like that. And we're just like, what the fuck, mate? You know, I mean, he's like, well, I couldn't leave my bike outside, you get me? Like, so I didn't want to leave him because I was like, just stupidly being loyal in a way, like, oh, I can't leave him. Do you know what I mean? I think Milo come with us, so it was us three. And then we went around the front, and the doorman just let us in for a $5. In the end, that was all it was. Just like, I think I had the $5 typically, and the guy was like, "Yeah, cool, let us in anyway." But like, it was so stupid. But just silly things like that always made it funny, innit? You know, just like. Yeah.
We had a period where like
antics on the night out.
George Nevin, shouts to George Nevin. He's like Bristol's finest. Him and Louis Game, and those two like filmed all our first videos and shit.
Okay.
And he used to basically like, because he was filming for skate videos and he filmed like the 50-50 video and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like he had one camera that was like his kind of beat up camera, and he'd just take it everywhere.
Right.
And like we've got like hours and hours of footage of like freestyling, like scraps, like fucking everything, like missions we went on. Like it's mad, man. Like 2 years probably of just like, and he's got way more, but like. Say me and up front and like our friend Boyo and Boyo and shit. And then like a few of us like bro, at one point, because it was just like all these memories that like half I don't even remember, you know what I'm saying? But like we managed to capture a load of shit that's just hidden.
That's it.
And like I haven't seen half of it.
Behind the scenes.
For like, and it's just before everything started kind of switching up with the music, so it's like this little, it's mad, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man, isn't it? Like,
it's hard to remember a lot of them times as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
like festivals and shit, like where loads of us met. You'd be like, fuck yeah, we met like so and so and da da da, and it's like
had the best time. I can't remember it.
Yeah, you get back and be like,
I know that we met, but fuck.
The connections were never proper. Like,
the nights out were the best back then, man. They used to just get rowdy in it like all the time.
Yeah.
I remember when.
Fucking sorry are you cold as fuck?
I'm a little bit cold, mate. Like
I think we're just like
behind the ears sort of thing, not like
draft or some shit.
Yeah.
You don't want it to like stink out and.
Yeah. It's not too bad though.
Sorry.
Like
nah. I'm
just.
It's up
to you. If you're obviously if you're cold in, so
I got food poisoning out here, man.
Was it?
Yeah, I heated up like my boss brought in a fucking. Thinking about it makes me.
Yeah, they would say what it was.
He brought in like a egg, mayonnaise, bacon sandwich.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good to me.
Brought from the school that his missus works at, his wife works at, like the day before, and I heated it up in a George Foreman, and I don't think I heated it right, man. And the whole day, man, I've just been
slightly warm all day, isn't it?
And mayonnaise as well. That's like gone. It didn't even taste that good, but I was just like. Hot sauce.
Yeah, man. The problem solver.
But yeah, that's why I'm cold. That's my excuse anyway.
Oh, fair enough, man.
Anyway.
But yeah. What I was going to say. Yeah, so times out like then, they were funny when I moved here as well.
Yeah,
right?
mate.
It was good as well because basically when I'd been living in the Midlands, it was all right, but like I wasn't working. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't much work there anyway, and what have you. Just a few years before that, I'd had this operation on my leg and what have you too, so I had to try and get back into work. And
what happened to your leg?
Well, nothing. I was born with this problem in the base of my foot, and like so, I get this swelling in my arch. It's arteries that join together, basically. So you just swell, innit? And so I've had to have like a few different. Basically, they're trying to seal up the arteries, and it comes and goes and what have you. But like, but yeah. So really, when I had my last operation when I was like 20 anyway, so that's around this sort of time. So obviously the time I'm not doing anything, I'm just like, oh well, I was doing music and that anyway. But then obviously because I'm not really doing that, I'm still going out and, you know, being like, you know, messing about and stuff anyway. But at the same time, I couldn't get back into work anyway. It's hard for me to just sort of stand up for a long time, so manual labour jobs are out of the way as such, and it was kind of a bit limiting around there. Do you know what I mean? So when my sister said, look, I've got a space here if you want to just come and basically sort yourself out, that's another thing. But yeah.
Was that, so your sister lived in Bristol? And
she lived in Bath.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
She lived in Bath, so I lived there.
Yeah.
And then, so that was alright. And it's nice sitting in that, but like, I knew I was coming to Bristol every weekend anyway, because I'd already met Milo and that. There's a few funny nights though in Bath. Like, that's when I first met Mr. Slips.
Down the rabbit hole.
Was that it? There was a pub, wasn't it? Do you remember he was a chef in a pub?
Yeah.
Literally my first weekend there. Like, moved in, just sort of going out and about, and ended up just chatting to him just on the casual one night. And well, I make beats, and I'm putting on a night, because he used to run nights down there occasionally, or help them put on, because Leafy did a night there.
Yeah, what was
with Lord Finesse.
Yeah, where was that at, man?
I think it was something like Green Park Tavern, or
was that the one on the side of the road that got burnt down?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, we played at that. That's where I broke my.
That's where.
That's where I snapped my fucking thumb,
mate. You know what, mate? See,
fucking Bill next was like scrapping with.
Right, I was there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know you lot then.
Yeah.
And the Dockers come down. And so I sort of knew them then. Well, I knew them. I mean, I knew them then. Like, I speak to Lou. I haven't spoken to Tommy in years, but I knew them. And my mates from back home came up then as well. Yeah. I remember that because it was like a fucking western, mate. I remember this guy falling through the door and Bill next walking through like a saloon door was like opening, just going like that to some dude.
Like them scrapping down this little alleyway.
That's right.
And, I grabbed, got in between them, and Sam stopped, stopped kind of trying to punch this guy because obviously I was like, fucking stop it or whatever. Like, we got to stop this, yeah. And then the guys carried on trying to punch him, and then tried to punch me, and I was just like, nah. Whap. And the third time I whapped him, he went back, and I went to whap him a fourth or whatever, and he'd already fallen, and I just overshot, and it was in this little alleyway, and my thumb just was
You hit the wall, right?
I just went like that, and hit the wall, my thumb snapped. And for the whole weekend I was like, nah, I reckon. And then I started feeling real sick and shit. And the x-ray was just poink.
Yeah.
That's the problem though, man. Scrapping at shows.
In general,
Yeah, I don't advocate that shit at all.
No,
it's
just bullshit, but
it is bullshit.
Yeah.
But back then when you're all fucking fired up and you're young and shit, and you know what I mean, times were different then. You know what I mean, we was all fucking going through our own little.
Yeah, it was mad.
Yeah.
I mean, I laugh about it, but
that's all you can do is laugh about it now.
Yeah, when we used to get mashed up.
I think it was Lord Finesse anyway when it was in Bristol, and we did it with League of Shadows.
Right.
It was a support, or it was Keith Murray. It's one of them two shows.
Keith Murray show was one
of
the best shows I ever
seen.
Do
you remember that?
Huh?
We had a heckler at the front for the whole of our show, and Drills was hosting our set. Yeah.
Oh
and
shit!
This guy was going, I want fucking New York hip hop. Just that's all he kept saying. Heckling us off, innit? And then I went up to the toilet. I went to the toilet after the show. Lo and behold, he came out of the toilet. I just chinned him straight away. It was a reaction. And then after me was Drills, isn't it? Drills kicked him down the stairs.
Yeah.
The bouncer came out.
But didn't
the bouncer came out. He's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "This guy's fucked, bro. Just dash him out, innit?"
Yeah.
And he got dashed out. But
Yeah.
Those nights were just mad. Everyone was just fucked.
The thing is though, is we all kind of grew up how old are you?
32 now.
32. So really, I don't know, around this kind of age, that kind of age. Yeah. I don't know how far it goes either way. Whether it's fucking up to you and down to say someone in mid-20s or early 20s, but the binge drinking culture was heavy, man. We used to you could drink to get fucked.
Exactly, good, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We'd go out
and
and fucking get as many drinks as we could. We did budget booze and shit. We'd go in there and fake IDs and that and get 120 WKD fucking little, do you know what I mean?
Fucking Crompton Oak days and stuff
Yeah, man, do you know what I mean? And
do you remember that shit?
Try and get waved.
That's a 6% fucking weird.
That's
one,
right, yeah, and it was fucking that big, and you would, you're right.
We got sold fake Bell's whiskey for 2 years, man.
Battery acid.
Yeah, and we didn't know until one of us from this one place that served us, Star News and Booze, shout out to my man, and he fucking one of us had a real Bell's whiskey that they'd been given or some shit, or actually bought from a supermarket or some shit. Yeah, and they were next to each other, and the apostrophe was in the wrong place. And we were like, we've been drinking this for years, man. All of us had like fucking episodes on it as well. Do you know what I'm saying? At one point, like I reckon everyone had a fucking.
There was a dodgy booze about, isn't it?
Oh man,
fake oozos, man.
God knows what that shit.
You know, Greek like.
Yeah, ouzo. Yeah, I used to like ouzo, man.
Fake ouzo, man. That shit was. Oh my god, horrific.
Yeah, definitely.
Die off that, man. It's painful, isn't it?
Yeah. But back to the music. Like, when did you start working with Wish then? Because that's like the.
Oh, not long ago.
Is that like a recent thing? Yeah.
It's been a year. It's been a year now, isn't it?
Yeah, it must have been about a year.
Yeah, I tell you. Yeah, like. So obviously, like.
I mean, that might be skipping some, so maybe I'm fucking jumping ahead a bit. If you want to fucking take it.
I can't remember where we got to. Where we League, Twizzy, and that Theatre Beast.
Yeah.
Oh man, to be fair, like just so we're still talking about music, but you're talking about nights out and stuff. Right? I was saying this to Jinx at the show we did the other day, the one at Thekla, the Baxter one.
Oh yeah.
Talking to Jinx there, and I was saying how it was such a contrast, like doing like being a DJ for Theatre Beast and then being a DJ for Milo and the League of Shadows stuff. Yeah, in terms of just what you got up to and like and stuff like that. Because I was like. With the League of Shadows stuff, I was, according to Milo, like, I was the sensible one there. He used to call me Dad. He was like, this is Billy's dad. He's Dad, like, you know what I mean? Because I'd have a few drinks, whatever. There'd be all stuff going on. I'd be like, I want to go to bed. Do you know what I mean? The Beast, on the other hand, like, I was the pissed one. I was the one where Jinx was telling me to shut up at the services or whatever because I'm being drunk and being a twat, or I'm the one they can't get to go home. It was like the other way around. You know what I mean? I was like, it's such a weird contrast to being that, like, it was just, round about the same sort of time too. Like, so, but I was still acting the same in general. It wasn't like I was drinking more theatre. I was doing the same as what I was doing with Milo, but in comparison, I was the quiet one there, and with them, like, it's just like, Bill's such a pisser. Not that they're having a go.
That's just because it's Milo, isn't it?
But that's what I mean, because it was Milo,
You've got two ways. You either get as fucked as him, or you look after him. Or you, like, don't get fucked at all.
Yeah.
Man, you have to be ready to go in if you're going to go in with Milo.
Yeah. Basically.
Like,
you're right. It's
like
so
I had more time just do a bit and just make sure he's alright.
Basically, yeah.
I used to be able to go in for like 3 days or whatever. You can just go home. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that go.
No, but I mean, just that with him, it's amounts, isn't it? Amounts of stuff that we do. Like he could do more in a day than some people might do.
That's right. He was like,
acid story.
Oh my god, mate! It's not.
He was like invincible.
Fucking Nas.
Yeah, you shouldn't take that much.
Like that was.
You shouldn't.
This is it. So like. But man, that's some of the funniest times I had though. I remember going back to the Hereford stuff. Milo, I was meant to DJ at Jailhouse still, and I think I'd sort of blagged Milo along saying, "Do you want to come do some stuff? Or do you just want to come?" Do you know what I mean? So in between him just coming with me on a set I'm playing, he's managed to get the promoter to pick him up from Bristol. Yeah. So I'm at work and he's rang me being like, "Get in the lift there now." Like, what? Like, he's managed to get the guy to drive to Bristol to pick him up, right? So he's getting a lift there, bear in mind. I'm getting the train like a fucking idiot. Like, oh, cheers, you know what I mean? And then we get down there.
To play on your show as well.
To play on my show, yeah. So Milo flags himself the lift, yeah. And so he's got himself down there and a few others, like, that just ended up, I think he just ended up getting along. Which would have been Jay Surley. Yeah, it was him, Jay Surley and Don Piper. He managed to, because Don Piper was living in Bristol then. So he managed to blag them along down there. Now, obviously, then I finished work, got the train, like, and I get down there, and of course, he's been down there for hours, he's fucking all this. And, long story short, doesn't end up jumping on my set until the very last tune where he'd been chatting to some bird. He won't mind me saying this. He'd been chatting to some bird, and in his own right, he said, "Well, I just wanted to impress her, so that's when I decided to rap." So he got up at the last minute trying to rap, but he was just fucked, so he couldn't really, you know what I mean? So we're, like, walking back anyway, and this is when Chillman still lived in Hereford. Because those guys used to live around there, Kusi and all that.
That's where I first met them, man.
Yeah, same. I remember Chillman's first ever set.
Yeah.
You lot played that, Paul Hurst. Paul Hurst night.
Yeah.
I never knew Paul, but I knew his brother Mike. But yeah. That was, I remember that night.
Yeah.
Now
That was Paul's first set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Kusi was still in Nick.
Was Sonny Jim playing that? Or did he play the one afterwards?
I think it was after.
Yeah.
I don't think Sonny Jim played that one. I think you guys are headlining. Me, Notty. Yeah, the B-Noise stuff, we opened up. Yeah, we did the first set, then it was Chillman, then it was you guys. Actually. Yeah. Now I think about it, yeah. And that was the first time I'd seen him live. I'd heard him on a couple of tunes, but yeah, I remember he was on his own. I think Kusi was still in Nick at the time. he would have been. That's why he was on his own. And so fast forward back to the gig we're doing. So anyway, we're leaving the venue, and they didn't have no like, kebab shops open, nothing like that. They had this one like sandwich place, and there was this huge fucking brawl going on outside it, and there was this big guy, and bless him, like he was a bit like Lenny from Of Mice and Men, you know what I mean? This one guy. And it turned out that basically, some lads started picking on him in there, do you know what I mean? Which was harsh, but this guy was handling himself unbelievably. He was like the Hulk or something. He was literally picking up 3 lads at and at times going, and like throwing them across the roads, like kids just falling about, like fucking going off, like, do you know what I mean? Throwing them all about. Yeah. And some girl we were with, or some girl started walking with us, ended up chatting to him, and he was saying how, I'm trying to have a good night, and they're just not leaving me alone. So we felt mad sorry for a minute. So like me and Milo, like, oh come on lads, piss off, like, leave him alone now. Anyway, despite the fact he fucking thrown them all about and beating the fuck out of all of them. Like, so we were just sort of making sure this guy was alright. Yeah. In between that, another fight starts happening. I think between the group of lads that are picking on him, they all start scrapping, right? And Don Piper just ran in for whatever reason in the middle, and I immediately grab him. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, I was trying to stop the fight, like that. And I'm like, what are you doing anyway? So we walk along, and Milo goes, well, anyway, boys, we got to leg it. I said, why is that? He goes, I've just robbed this kid's jacket. And with that, one of the kids was fighting. Milo just took his jacket off his back. And he's on there. We just look at Milo on the jacket, like, shit. So we like leg it around the corner. There was fucking loads of them. And we got around there. Milo puts on the jacket. Goes, hey, Don Piper, take a photo of me and Billy Whizz. And like there is this photo I have that I put up periodically of me and Milo minutes after him wearing this stolen jacket that he stole, man. And so we had some funny times back then as well. So yeah, League of Shadow stuff was funny, man. It did have some like random times, but yeah, it was good.
He's doing another one. There's another league.
I don't think he is now. I think he was.
Why? Has he given up again?
He put out a post saying
next week,
yeah.
Come on,
yeah.
Why?
He's doing well at the moment, man. He's
good.
He's just
focusing on himself, and he's doing good, man. Yeah, he's doing good.
Gym stuff and all this.
Yeah, he's getting good.
We've done really. Have I shown you the track that we done for my project?
No, I don't think so. No.
Have I not? Done a really nice track with Milo, right? And to be fair, mate, he's basically produced it, right? So I just did this beat, sent it to him, and he immediately had a vision for the track. Right? He's like, oh, well, I'm gonna get Mel on there to sing. Melissa Dawn, get her on there to sing. Yeah. Oh, I know this guy who plays keys called Tim. We'll get Tim to play some stuff on there. So he's like, he got it all sorted. And I just mixed it, what have you, and just sort of played with the keys a bit more, like, almost resampling them and stuff, and got it. It's a fucking beautiful song, like, you know what I mean? He's managed to make this whole
beautiful
thing.
Music, man.
And I was just kind of,
Is it like more on a like introspective thing?
Yeah,
like more like. Cause like his the Incredible Disappearing Man, where he's like being real like honest and fucking like.
Basically,
do you know what I mean? Just about himself, or like just, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think that shit from Milo is
that's
like I like his grungy shit as well. Do you know what I mean? But that shit, I feel like that
Disappear Man was brilliant.
Yeah, I think that shit comes from like the soul. And Milo's got like a big soul and with loads of experiences in it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like. Yeah,
that's it. I like seeing him on that this track, and I was just like, man, I can't believe. I was like, you bought this for my project, you know what I mean? Like, managed to link all this up, and yeah, it's fucking great, mate. What you put together on it.
Yeah. So I want to do it. I think he's just writing like that now. Like, he's not writing all the time. He's not boring. He's not like
just writing.
He's just writing songs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which the thing is, as well, like I was like, mate, this is one we should do a video for as well, because it is just so nicely laid out. And I got it on, just the BBC introducing, but as soon as I put it on there, they had it instantly. They were playing it because I just thought, I'll just test it out, see if they'll pick anything up. So I put that on there, and like, so he immediately was happening. But like, so I was like, look, mate, I'll sort the video out. Obviously, it's my project anyway. But it's mine, isn't it? So he's just like, oh man, like I haven't got any money. I was like, I'm not asking you for anything. Like, look, you've put this track together. Yeah, it's fucking sick. You've done so much work that you didn't need to even do. Like, and then I'm releasing it. Like, you know, let me pay for the thing, and so. Hopefully it'll come round that we'll do something for that, because I think it deserves it, like, you know, as well. So
I would like to hear it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, man.
It's out.
If not, I'll send it to you both. Like, it's gonna be on this Cobra Kai style thing, so yeah. But I'll send it to you anyways. Like, but yeah, man.
I'll cop the project. I said I'll cop the project when it goes.
Yeah. I need to see if it's going to be an EP or an album in between stages, because obviously I'm always waiting for verses, you know.
Yeah.
So I got to work out what it is.
Well, yeah. Is this the one? that I've got a feature on. Nah, different thing.
Next one. Yeah, I've lined you up for the next one. Yeah.
It's sick how you do that, like
It's
just
got to be done, I know.
yeah, man,
Sick
stack
way to work
shit.
it. Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Stack shit up and fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're working on your next project while your other one's being released, you're winning, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, ideally you should have enough material, like, as an artist, I'd say anyway, like, for me to be comfortable, I'd have, like, 4 or 5 albums worth of music every year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. Like, that's not what I do. I haven't, like, ever got to that stage with, like, time hasn't permitted it or whatever, but I'd feel, like, super comfortable at that stage.
it was stacked in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah, like if I just stacked it up and
5 stacks.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you know what I mean? Like up front, he's like one of those people. I'm sure, and even if it's not even that, like, because you can go into a studio, like say with a beat maker, like one of you guys go in and write a 16 in like an hour or whatever, and record it, and it's cool. But then it's having the time to do that. So it's time, man. The battle of time.
Yeah, I mean, Wish is on that as well. Like, I go with his, and he's got so many different things already. He's got 2 albums sat there, and like
he's been stacking for
projects
time.
and like yeah. But then some of it is real fresh as well. He's just been in work mode with it.
Yeah, but it's fresh to all of us.
Oh yeah, fresh to everyone now. But,
you know what I'm saying?
But it's like a turn up. If I've not been there for a fortnight, you'll have another 4 fucking projects. Something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Not quite that, but like, you know, it's like fucking hell. So I think the thing is,
on job.
Yeah, exactly. I think
job.
Big up Skins, man.
I think like
hashtag on job. That's his man as well.
I think the thing is as well, like, you know, so for years when I was sort of started making beats and what have you, I wasn't the most confident in what I was making. Even if people were telling me it was sick, I was just like, oh, I don't know. Like I've always credited like seeing D do a beat set, like Bailey's Brown. I mean, just people like. So seeing him do a beat set and like I'm like, oh man, like I'm horrible. Do you know what I mean? Thinking, oh god, I need to start again. You know, but it's a good thing. No, so that was, but like I still. Even though I was doing little bits here and there, even when because I remember this is how me and Twizzy started working together. Because originally 3-Headed Beast, obviously I've been working with Marvin every so often. Every time they were doing a project, oh Bill, send us something, and I still wasn't that confident myself. I don't know why. I was just like, oh well, all right, and I'd end up sending something I know they wouldn't have had. Do you know what I mean? It was just weird. I was just like, oh, I just don't think I'm good enough. I just don't think I can do it. It was just weird mindset I was in. Do you know what I mean? And like, so I had that for years, and then I did get a track on one of their EPs, I think. And this is when they were saying, let's do the next one with all your stuff in it. And again, I was still a bit like, that immediately seemed like pressure straight away. I was like, what? A whole album with a crew? Hey, like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? And then, but then they end up, they end up going their own ways, basically. Because 3-Headed Beast was no more as of a few years ago, really. You know, so that's when me and Twiz did the first album, the Alarm Bells Ringing.
Yeah.
Again, I was trying to build up some other project, and it ended up being like I had about 4 or 5 beats, and so like I was thinking, I'll do an EP with Twiz, and Twiz turned into the album, which I'm glad he did, mate, because he literally kicked me up the arse. He's like, "No, this is an album. It's an album. Where's the rest of my beats?" You know what I mean, like that, and it was good, and that was it. He just sort of, and then so we've done 2 albums now, and
it snowballs, isn't it, with shit like that? Like when you feel a certain way about something. And like you do, I think it's like a mad thing when you release your first like project or single or whatever. Yeah. After that, you're like, oh yeah. Like if you get, if you were to release something and it's trash, then it's gonna get a fucking response, like a fit response. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if you've waited and then you put your shit out and it gets a good response, all it does is just fuel you to make better shit. Yeah. Because you're like, but that's like, nah. That was some old shit. Like 100%. I've got something new, and I want to put that out. Like I find every time I actually put something out, I get like I raise up my skill level. And like sometimes if you're not putting stuff out, you almost don't raise your skill level because you're not like.
Most of the things you're putting out is always a year old already.
Yeah.
Or like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time it's coming out, and so that's a good way to do it.
Definitely, man, as well. And I'd switched producing processes as well during the making of the Alarm Bells Ringing album with Twizzy. So I was still using that Pro Tools setup, just using
with the external
external thing, and I used to have a little keyboard to trigger samples off and all that, like rather than the sampler. Then I got Machine during I was making it. So there's only one beat on that first album was one I made on Machine, and So yeah, so I still kind of was like learning. So I can listen as much as I really like the album. I can still listen to a few beats, and I'm just like, oh no, do you know what I mean? Or there was some stuff towards the end of it. I was like, mate, please don't put it out yet. Let me just go back and change a few bits. Do you know what I mean? Or just let me try it in Machine. Or do you know what I mean? Just little bits and bobs like that. Yeah. But I'll tell you something as well. The first beat I made in Machine that got on that album, I was super proud of. Right? And this might just seem like a silly thing to have, but I ended up making a hook for the tune, out of a fucking Nigel Benn boxing promo. And I made it in time, so it sounds like he's rapping. And I was so happy with that. So it's from that fight he had with Nigel McLennan, and he's like, yeah. He's been giving it this, giving it that, and that was the bit I had. So I was going, giving it this, giving it that, and I timed it and just put it on the pad, like, giving it this, giving it that, like that. And he's like, no, you listen to me, giving it this, giving it like that. And so that stands out for me as a bit like, oh, okay, that's when I started really.
Because that's when you were first on the pads and that. Yeah.
So
actually playing it in.
And and I know Twiz is a big boxing fan as well, so when he heard that he was just like, do you know what I mean? So I need more like that. And I was like, oh god, no, I can't do any more. Like, you know what I mean? That's done, it's finished, it's done. But then but then again, before that was out, that's when, because that was it. Then I just got into the flow of it. Make stuff from Machine. I don't remember making the second one because it just flowed. It just seemed like I sent him 13 beats or something, and it was done. It wasn't quite like that, but it just seemed. Whereas before, felt like a real long process, and making
was
sure.
Was that the first time you'd worked together, just you two though?
Me and him on a project as well.
And probably just learning Machine as well, innit? You're gonna bang beats out while you're learning something. Do you know what I mean?
It's a process working with someone as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it does take a while. Like sometimes you just fucking the mood is set or whatever, and you just like get it cracking and just. Smash fucking 5 tracks out in a night, but
that's
making a whole album, it is like something that you have to take your time with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but if it's just like one producer, like a rapper and a producer, you know what I mean?
But that's it as well, because like I know the types of beats Twiz will be better for.
Yeah.
Like so, as I will make some 140ish type stuff anyway, and even like with Pro Tools, I was even I was composing as well as sampling what have you as well. So I'd always end up having these other beats that I sat there being like, oh man, I wish someone would jump on these or whatever. But then, you know what I mean, back then I just used to take them to gigs and stuff, and I used to just play them. So it was fine, but like, so after I'm making beats like so long, some way for a while, I can get a little bit bored of myself, do you know what I mean? Like, and if we're doing an album that's like, boom bap hip hop, I can be, I can be midway through the middle of it being like, fucking bored of 85 or 90 BPM now.
Yeah,
like, I'm bored of sampling. I'd have to go do a load of other stuff and then go back to it, like just get out of my system sort of thing. I mean, there's a track I did with Jinx for my EP, that Nemesis one, and it's like, I don't know, it's like some weird tempo, like 76 or something stupid, like, and well, not something stupid, but just a drum pattern. It's a bit grimy, but it's all samples and it's all like quite triggered and all that. But I made that coming back from being a boom bap for the weekend. Because I just heard so much like boom bap hip hop, I was just like, to get myself out of it, I had to make something that wasn't a boom bap beat. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What did you think of boom bap?
I loved it, mate.
Did you go to like all of them?
Yeah. I remember, mate. Oh, mate, did not.
Shameful,
to be fair, it was far away. Like that was.
It was far away, yeah. But it was that, like, shouts to fucking Ivan and everyone else who was Jack and like literally everyone who made that happen, because like. That was fucking essential, man. And I think it, like, everyone who's just the way like hip hop, like underground hip hop culture moved forward from that point.
Amazing.
Do you know what I'm saying? It definitely had a big part in it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the whole part of it, 100%. It was the artists as well that were doing the bits at the time that made it permittable for them to even have a festival that people would go to. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like but then to actually be like, all right, I'm gonna take that fucking energy from all these people that are like kicking off and making this whole new wave of music and harness it and put in a fucking field. Yeah, definitely. Like,
man, it was like the right time for the festival, wasn't it? The first year.
That's it. All the fans together.
But everything was on the right level,
yeah.
Because it was still a small thing, but it still meant a lot to a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? You know, the High Focus had established their shit. You guys had established your stuff. Don't Flop was there. They'd established their stuff as well. So it was always... So do you know what I mean? For the size it was, do you remember the pub it was at in Peterborough?
Yeah, I remember.
So that's what I mean. It was pub premises.
Sig coming out of one of the Portaloos and just being like, right, like going in straight afterwards and just seeing the fucking... It was just the whole... it was not prepared. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't. It was just too much. There was too many people.
It was
there.
too much.
So sick. It was fucking sick. Like,
but it was,
all of them, like, in my opinion, were a success. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
they
mate,
were all
definitely.
a fucking success in different ways.
Like, and that's near where I was first saying I grew up. That side of the country. So I remember being on my way there, being like, oh man, I remember the turbines and all the fucking things. It was so flat and that, and like
so
that literally
fucking flat, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly,
So I
Peterborough,
literally,
like,
yeah.
It's out by Cambridge ways and shit.
Does it fit in a field?
Yeah, it was
this
just
place,
it was
yeah.
like a little pub, and it had like this long field at the back, and it had like a big tented stage at the back, and like another little tent on the left, and then like clothing stalls and shit on the right with some cars and shit.
Yeah.
It was fucking sick, man.
It was, yeah, that's what I mean. For the size that the scene was at the time, that was a perfect fucking place to have it. Do you know what I mean? And I loved it. Like, it took fucking long to get there, but it was worth it. Do you know what I mean? But I bought a ticket the first year, and I remember the early birds are something like 30 quid. They were so dirt cheap. I was just like, fuck it, even if I don't go. Do you know what I mean? I remember getting it then. And
that's the same price as like a fucking night out.
Yeah.
Yeah, who did you get?
Yeah.
That was good, man.
Like, I probably spent more getting
That's
it.
less
Do
than
you know what I mean?
night out nowadays.
Yeah. For the weekend of it. And that was that time as well. It was right at that time because you still had like Rhyme Asylum playing.
Yeah.
And Dyke and all them and everyone doing what they were doing and Contact playing stuff like that. And
the first boom bap Contact play.
They were there, weren't they? Or was that?
They played at Aeon as well. That was that.
Yeah. Were they there as Contact player? Were they there as like? I don't know. Were they? Fuck knows.
I don't know, but it's that type of time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Reveal played. Like Kaiser played.
Yeah.
Baby
Blue.
Was that the first one?
She was there.
Yeah.
Baby Blue was there.
I remember falling. Like, mate, I fucking dropped. Yeah. Like, bearing in mind, this was like the first time we properly connected with. Actually, no, we connected with Live Cypher before, but the whole scene was at the back of the stage. Yeah, the main stage. It was like the last show and shit. And like, I can't remember if it was like Maestro playing, or I think it was Maestro playing, and like, there was these big holes in the stage.
Right.
Do you remember? Like, there was the DJ booth, and then there was like these two big holes either side where like there was no.
Yeah.
And I was just filming, just casually filming, like, it's fucking whatever, and just went, dropped down. All I remember is like looking up, like, what the fuck? Like, someone's helping me up and shit, and like get back up, and just the whole scene's just there, like on the back of the stage, just like. It's funny.
Quality, man.
That's good.
No, it was great, man. And then it moved over to Mildenhall, wasn't it? Third year. I want to say third year. Yeah.
Nah, second. Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
it was the third year.
Yeah, it was the third year because they did two there.
Yeah, I remember now because the second year, I ended up getting a lift with like a load of girls from Cornwall, and I thought I was a fucking man. Like, they ended up driving up, mate, and shouts to Lucy and that because I'm still talking to him today.
Yeah.
Like, fucking ace them, like, and one of I thought it was a bit of a weird route they'd taken anyway, because I thought, when they said, I thought, they've come from Bristol or whatever. No, we've come from Cornwall. And I was like, alright, and I just said to go on the front, I was like, do you mind just taking a picture? And I'll never forget, like, just putting it on the way, going, on the way to Boom Bap, like, birds. I thought I was the man, like, you know what I mean? But they were dead cool. My lot turned up late anyway, so I ended up sort of staying with them and what have you, and then a few other people they knew from Cornwall come up, and a few of them used to spit and stuff, and like, it was a real good weekend, that second one, man. And so I didn't even see any of my mates, and I just sort of chilled with these and just man, it was funny as fuck. It was real good though, and I think that was when Chess headlined second year. Yeah, and that yeah.
Yeah, I had to leave before that show, man.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh mate.
Well, actually, nah, maybe not. Actually, maybe it was I left before the Jest headline.
Oh yeah,
I
shit.
left just before that one. I swear that was at the fucking.
What was that? Was that the first year?
Was it?
I can't remember now. He had his band.
Yeah, was that the first year?
I don't know. I think it was Chess one night, and then Klashnikov was there.
Yeah.
Because I just remember like him and all his guys coming in, and one of his guys had ended up coming in like full like dapper gear, like proper expensive stuff, like a fucking Crombie jacket and all that. Massive pair of wellies on. And I just remember being like, he must have been pissed turning up to that field initially. I bet he was turning up like, right, we're going to the nearest town. You know what I mean? Because he was so like swagged out, man. He'd have been pissed being in a muddy field. Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah. No, man, they were fucking good times. And yeah,
we need to make that happen again, man. We've been talking about this on like there's been a subject on this podcast. Yeah. Like from Wish's episode to like episode, you know what I mean? But, I mean we've been talking about it for years anyway, but I think it's something we do need to make happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, it would be good. It's just shit, man. Every time I saw Ivan that weekend, he was always, he was out, he was asleep, so he was so knackered from it. Do you know what I mean? And I imagine how much he had to sort out.
But if there was like loads of us, but there'd have to be like a set like guidelines. There'd have to be some sort of like control over it. Do you know what I'm saying? It couldn't just be like, right, well, I'm gonna do this, it'd have to be like a set of jobs that everyone would have to take on board or whatever, and we all put in shares. And
in Bristol, isn't it? Like the
there's like
all them people do the same guidelines that we would have to follow. And it's the same thing. But it has to be professional.
So do you mean something in Bristol? Do you know like a venue for
or even like Ashton Court or
okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Something where it's like an urban music festival or whatever, you know what I mean? So I have to brand it probably.
Yeah. No, that sounds right,
But just like, I don't know. Or even a world hip hop music festival or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. Just like,
where like, even if, that's actually a good point. You know what I mean? A world hip hop festival.
You could just give it
some
sort of...
You get loads of international artists, so it would give it this whole different fucking, it wouldn't be like, it's going to be all like grime and fucking, it'd have like police cracking down on it and shit, because if you try to organise an urban music festival that's strictly like boom bap was like hip hop, and you try to do that in Bristol, you'd have a fucking
it'd be a nightmare.
It'd be a nightmare. In London, you wouldn't be able to do it.
You just reminded me, man, as well. Like, I really pissed off on the security at Boom Bap on the third year. I didn't mean to, right, and I really didn't mean to at all. But all it was, because we're out in the countryside, and everyone's there, as in security, all wearing normal high-vis jackets and that. And there's just one bloke stood there, fucking crew cut, and he had a stab-proof vest on. And I just laughed when I saw him. And, mate, it was only because... And I had to say to him, I was like, mate, I'm really sorry, but you just reminded me of Hot Fuzz. And they're down the pub and they're all ripping him and stuff like that. I just imagined that, and this guy was proper annoyed at me for it, and he was like but then he kept making it more Hot Fuzz the more he went on, and he was going, do you think getting stabbed's a joke? And I'm just like, please just stop talking. I don't, mate, I'm sorry, I've apologised, didn't it, and I'm trying to move on. And then like he kept being like, where's your wristband? I was like, well, I've got one, I'm playing. Oh, that means you can't be back here today. I was like, oh, piss off, mate, do you know what I mean, or whatever. And and he ended up just trying to, every time I was about, kept trying to sort of, I was like, oh mate, like I've apologised, innit? I'm blatantly a bit pissed, and all I said was it reminds me of Hot Fuzz, like, you know what I mean? And it was the most Hot Fuzz thing I've seen in my fucking life. And I'm from Upton on 7. Man, and he was, but anyway, but I mean, I hope he didn't have anything happen to him. I'd feel worse, but like, it was just
it probably wouldn't have.
It probably hadn't, but it was just overkill. He was just he wasn't working co-op that weekend, you know what I mean? But like, I love Boom Bap, mate. But I think I only played it 1 year, I think though. With Jinx. Jinx ended up getting us at the 6th stage. That was the only year I think I actually played. Every other time I just went along because it was just sick. And I remember seeing Blade there when he came out of retirement.
Yeah, that was at Maidenhall, wasn't it? Meldenhall.
Yeah, that was. I think that was the last year it was on, wasn't it? And I remember that because Blade was like. So my way into UK hip hop was the Unknown and him and Mark B when I was a kid. Man, like when that album came out, I was 11.
Woolworths and everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
it was just literally
mate, it used to be like the theme of it used to be the theme tune Soccer AM and stuff
was it?
like
Yeah,
that.
fucking hell.
Yeah,
it was
you
big,
don't
man.
see the signs. It was massive tune and like.
Because I didn't all over it as well. It was,
it was, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was sick.
And like, on Trevor Nelson, all that, wasn't it? It was everywhere. And like up until then, I only knew like MCs, like garage or drum and bass MCs, and in the stuff in the charts, it'd be like, I don't know, maybe like probably like Oxide Neutrino Garage Days. That was probably your chart stuff, isn't it? And then when that album charted, and then he was on tour with Eminem, I was like, oh man, these guys are killing it, and what have you. And so I was always kept up with like Blade then. And my brother-in-law, he's my brother-in-law now, he was just going out with my sister at the time. I remember he was big into UK hip-hop and everything, so he was like, oh, what, Blade, like from London, did a tune called Lyrical Maniac. I don't know, like, I just know he's done this tune, and he got me into everything, like London Posse, Hijack, Gunshot. Silver Bullet, stuff like that. And so I was there with like my mates. I'm being 12. They're all listening to like garage and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, what about these guys? I'm like, no, that stuff's fucking shit. And I just felt like, oh man, it's like I'm the uncool one. I'm the uncool one. Like I like this old music, but I loved it. I loved all that stuff. Then. Yeah.
Shout out Silver Bullet as well, man.
Yeah, like
everyone forgets his name, innit?
Demon Boys, man.
Yeah.
I love Demon Boys, man.
The Robocop sample one, isn't it? 15 seconds to comply.
Yeah,
that's
great
Silver
record.
Bullet, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yeah, it was a bit. That was like just a little bit before me, man. I missed that.
Yeah,
it was before me, really. In terms of,
it was probably it was around my time, but I probably didn't get it till later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's
like to be fair, I was like fucking. You know what I mean? I wasn't really exposed to too much of that shit because I didn't have like no computer and shit for years or any internet and so I don't know whether that like slowed me down on like getting music. You know what I mean? Like modern music. It was like LimeWire or like taping shit off the radio. Yeah, I taped so much shit off the radio. Like
I mean that was it. It was like a charted album.
Yeah,
so you couldn't get away from that song. And the fact he was on tour with Eminem.
Yeah,
Blade was and like. But then it's only because of like what Dom showed me. That was my brother-in-law one about. And because of the stuff he showed me, I only knew about that. So I was late on new stuff. I was really late on Task Force.
Yeah, I was.
I remember them appearing on the Gunshot album. What's
like how late? Like how late?
Task Force still way later. Like
yeah. I remember.
Like 2007, 8.
Yeah, probably around them for me, if I'm honest.
But just because I wasn't looking at the time, innit?
Yeah, it was like 2005.
I didn't know where.
I know 2000. Yeah, 2005. Like 15, like.
Oh man, I must
14,
have been 19, 20 when I realised properly because I liked Gunshot and what have you.
Yeah.
And they did a track called English Patient.
Yeah.
Which was a big posse cut. So you had MC
I've seen them live twice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. They've been around Beans' house, man.
Well, do you know what I was about to get to?
Yeah.
On that tune. So check this out. So I've loved this tune, Terry, like since school. English Patient, I loved it. It was a great fucking tune. So big posse cut, Huckleberry Finn's on there, Blades on there, Task Force are on there, Mellow, loads of others. Big posse cut.
Yeah.
And my apprentice at work, he quite likes sort of newer stuff like like Slow Tie stuff like that, and he likes some of the High Focus stuff and that. And so I was saying, this was my tune. I put it on. He liked it. And I found it on Discogs just at the time anyway. I thought, I'll see if I can pick this up. It'd be good to have the vinyl of that album. You know what I mean? And it had cuts by Sir Beans. I was like,
he did it for
fucking Beans. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
They were at his house.
How long I've been listening to that track?
That's nuts, man.
It was Beans.
Alkaline and that, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah. Mental. So I got hold of him straight away. I was like,
Beans is fucking.
He's great, man.
He's a legend, man.
Shout to Beans, man.
He did that.
Beans. We're gonna get him on here soon.
He did that. He must have did that in
I
like
don't fucking
97.
know, man.
That must have been 96 or 97 that he did that.
Yeah.
What the cuts?
Yeah, because that's when I saw him at Fekla. They went round to Beans.
So I would have been 6 or 7.
Fucking hell.
Mad, didn't it? Yeah. So 97, I'd been 8 or 9. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was too.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool, man. When I just hit him up straight away, just on Messenger. I was just like, mate, I've been listening to this on that because obviously I've known him years, so it wasn't anything. I was like, mate, how long?
Mate, even to this day as well, innit? Have you heard his new ones? Have you heard Beans' new cuts? He's on a new thing with all Quids produced it.
Oh, right.
And then it's got D-Stars. It's like my favourite scratch DJ in the whole world from LA, and Beans, and it's ridiculous. It makes me like want to stop recording scratch choruses. I do a good one. I listen to that and I'm like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Beans is a don, like scratching definitely.
Yeah, I want to learn. I'd love to learn how to do like one scratch chorus. You know what I'm saying? Like one pattern, like.
Yeah, man. I can't do too much for it anymore. Like.
Just a couple little flare notes.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I ain't got a fucking clue. Like Rogue taught me how to like beat juggle in about 10. Well, it's about you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So about
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah, I was slacked on that stuff, man. I used to love beat juggling
and everything.
Yeah. So I used to love doing it right with Witness. Right, when I used to first play, I thought I was sick. I had 2 copies of Witness on vinyl. And I used to think I was a fucking man doing that.
Yeah,
Witness.
You put that on 45 as well. You can double the syllables, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought I was well good on that. But yeah. I do a few little cuts here and there, but they're just like babies, and I can't really do too much like a minute. So
I've always wanted to be able to, man. I admire it.
I used to do more when I was younger, and the thing is, it's not a, this ain't therapy hour or nothing like that, but I got diagnosed with this thing called dystonia, right, which is a neurological thing, and it's affecting muscle movements all in my arm. So like when I go to cut, I can literally only do babies because like that's why sometimes my arm sort of bends round and stuff like that. And like D put up a photo from someone sent it him of on Saturday. Wish had sent me the photos as well. And there's one, and I can really see, it's only because I know it's there. I can see the arm sort of bent a bit like this. Does
the muscle just like does it automatically?
Yeah, just like goes round if I'm doing something else. Like if I'm really doing something else, like if I am on the deck, so I'm listening, that will claw and I won't even notice it.
Yeah.
And there's like this photo of me, and it just and I looked at it and. My way of looking at it is basically me just like, do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh no, I can see that too much.
Does it like progress or does it just stay?
It will get worse, like, but it's just, it's not going to be like, it's not going to be like completely like
debilitating.
Yeah. I can't handwrite anymore, stuff like that. Like,
but you can still type though.
I can still tag.
Type.
Oh,
still
tag. Like,
yeah, still tag, mate.
Yeah, sort of. Not a little.
Yeah.
But like mouse and that on left hand, maybe type with, just because it's easier. But like, so I've lost certain functions in like, I think I lost certain functions in my right hand and realised that sounded booky as fuck. But like, so my scratching stuff. Yeah. So I just used to get annoyed, like, and this is one of the things with me like starting to smoke again and stuff, because I was finding a lot of stuff like CBD and generally smoking again was just relaxing my muscles a bit more, and I could gig a bit better or what have you. And whereas like, if I'm having a bad day with it and I feel my arms, I used to go on deck, I used to get pissed off at myself, which is stupid, but I used to be there like, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing it, I'm on CDs tonight. Like I was really suffering with it the weekend for the Baxter gig, and Sammy's like, oh, we got Serato set up, and I'm like, no, that's fine, I'm going on CDJs. You sure, mate? Like, yeah, I got Serato here. It's like, yeah, and he's like, and he, because I've done gigs with Sammy anyway, so he knows I usually use Serato. And it was like he was like what's the name? Like the woman out of Father Ted. Go on, like that. Go on. I was like, nah. I just said, oh no, I haven't got any cuts tonight, so there's no point. Let's just USB it, and it'll be a quick changeover.
Yeah,
I'll be that. But like, so I haven't really
trying to explain the situation, like.
It feels weird saying it now, sort of thing, because I don't ever I just try and get on with it. You know what I mean? But
no, it's interesting. Like, I never I've never heard of it before.
No, it was a weird one, man, because I'd started to suffer quite a bit, like, long time ago, probably 10 years ago, really, but only a little, where it felt like I was getting cramps and stuff. And then when I eventually went to the doctor, like, something's not right, they were like, he was just saying, oh, it's carpal tunnel. I was like, but I looked up the symptoms and you meant to have pins and needles. I was like, well, I ain't got that. Oh, well, I think that's what it is. Okay. And anyway, went back again, wasn't getting any better. He was still saying it was that. I then went to an osteopath, just someone at work said go there. Yeah. Went there, and she goes, no, it's definitely not that. I think you need to see neurology. Went back to the doctor. I said, I've been to an osteopath. She thinks I should go there. Mate, he just goes, an osteopath's not a doctor.
I know, they all say that.
Oh,
she was right? She was right the whole fucking time.
And he sent me to Muscle.
They always say this about osteopaths, man. It's like...
He sent me to Muscle, right? I got to Muscle, and they said you need to see neurology.
Yeah, because the Muscle is basically an osteopath.
Yeah, I've been shouting people out. I'm just going to say, nobody ever go see Dr. Chakrabarti at fucking Wells Road Surgery.
Don't go see him.
Don't go see him, man. He'll say you're not ill. You'll die a week later. Fuck it. Prick.
Fuck
seriously
that
though,
guy.
man, I've got to be honest, I fucked in the years of my life, really, when I couldn't be getting treatment.
Yeah, that is fucked.
Yeah, so fuck him. But, yeah.
I wish I knew the doctors that fucking misdiagnosed my actually, nah. You know what? It is what it is, but that's a whole different matter, man.
It was his attitude which got me. It was
that's a whole
he was an arrogant prick when I went in there. And they judge you straight away. Yeah. And I've heard other people say they've had it with doctors. I never had until then, and I was like, oh, so this is what that is.
Yeah.
And and he was like about my age-ish, maybe a few years older. So obviously he thought, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cock.
It's always fucking. It's never nurses as well, you know. It's always consultants. Usually doctors and nurses are safe, and then you get the consultants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they come in, they're like,
I'll say I'm a massive fan of the NHS, because obviously since I was little, like I was saying, stuff in my leg and all that, I've never ever had an issue or anything. But that guy was just like, oh man.
Do you reckon that shit's gonna change now?
What the?
With like any sort of help. Do you know what I mean? Like, because benefits are being cut for people and shit with their.
Well, mate, when Cameron's government got in, the initial thing that was helping me out, because I've got to wear support on my leg to keep the blood flow sort of thing going round. That whole department was cut.
Yeah.
within months. I can remember that really specifically.
What, when Cameron got... So when Tories...
I had it for free. I used to just send an email. I had to go down to London. It was a specialised thing. And they said I got measured up. Thing is, though...
I'm going to get political, but...
No, I know.
No,
and I know that I don't want to sort of make out as if I've had a fucking terrible time, because I haven't. There's people with a lot worse shit that, you know, really cannot live a normal life, and there's stuff there which is hopefully still helping them. Obviously, a lot of that shit's been cut too, and that pisses me more. But just in my experience, that was what happened when Cameron's lot got in. Yeah. That happened, and I tell you what, give it 6 months. All I had to do is send an email. I'm running out of support, so I might need to come see you again. This, that, and the other. It was done in an email. I didn't have to pay for it either. It was sent free. And then 6 months in, she sent me the email. Department's been closed, funded, cut. Now, that would have been someone a lot worse than me that needed the same stuff. Yeah. And they probably had to do what I do, which I can't get it measured now. I've got certain things, but they're not the same. So I still wear support, but it's not made for me. It's not as good. It costs me 25 fucking quid a time. So you think if you're buying a few of them at a time, you spend about 100 quid on 4 things to make sure you can walk. So yeah. So
the worst thing about it is that like it doesn't need to be like that either. No. Like those things don't need to be cut. There's other things that could be cut, and instead there's just the things that people really need.
Yeah, we weren't in debt.
It's fucking mental.
There was nothing. There was no
anything and build a stadium. Like.
What annoys me is, you know, when people say like the country was in debt then. We weren't in debt because of the government then. Do you know what I mean? It was, you know, then like this is what everyone said. Oh, well, we were in debt because of the last government we were in.
We were in debt before that.
Well, we've been in debt too, but like at the same time, it wasn't because of the government. There's other stuff going on. You got people controlling banks. You got this, that, and the other. You got loads of other stuff. It's not like, oh yeah, well, yeah, but that we had to cut that part of the NHS because of the debt. So
not really. That's absolutely.
Oh, what? Are you what? A department? Like, yeah. This isn't like a company, is it? Just going, yeah, sorry, we're going to have to close down the fucking Swindon branch.
But like, do you know what I mean? Even the other day, like this is how peak it's got, because I'm actually like I don't know, almost a hypocrite. Because the other day I went and paid like almost fucking 4 bills to have like a full checkup. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just because I wanted to know, like obviously having a kid and shit, I'm like, I was like, I want to get all my blood done. I want to get like my fucking skeletal done. Just do the whole fucking check. And I went private to do it because can I picture of because you can't do it through the NHS. Yeah. But like the NHS should be funded enough because there's enough tax money that like that's what everyone in the UK really like. If they actually got fucking schooled to what it would be like if it was fucking the States or some shit, where you got to pay crazy fucking money. Like you break your leg, like have you got insurance? No. Good luck, mate.
Yeah, it's crazy.
12 grand or some shit to get you.
No one thought about that when they were voting Tory, though. It's just everyone's on like survival mode, and they've been tricked into hating like everyone that's foreign.
It was the whole like I didn't realise how many people gave a shit about Brexit.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I couldn't believe how many people gave a shit about Brexit.
I know.
That was one thing when I was like, but it was getting done. I was like, huh? Hey, it was getting done.
Get what done?
Like, oh, you cared about that much. That was a bit that got me.
I cared about it. Yeah, I cared about it because like.
Not like it.
For me, like I'm worried about like all those shows abroad. Like if we're doing shows in Europe and we've got, but then that like when I spoke to people who actually know about shit, they're like, well, that probably won't be the case and da da da. But I still think the whole thing, like I don't know. I'd rather have like a load of countries that all agree that fucking certain things are bad, and like if one of them steps out of line, it's easier for the others to gang up than just one ruler over this country. There's a little tiny island that can just be like, well, actually, we can lie about shit and just make it happen still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
I was born European. You know what I'm saying?
On the Windrush thing now, they're literally
they're kicking people out and shit, bro. It's fucking real. Like, I was born European, man. I'm born like, you know what I mean? I fuck knows.
No, I know what you're saying, man. No, it's just feel though, isn't it? It's a terrible way to see everything go, because not that I was always amazingly optimistic about how anything was running in this country, but I thought, oh, okay, things are getting a bit better. Like in certain, I don't know, not getting better, but it seemed like things were on the road to improvement.
But loads of shit is like it's still better than ever before. Like everyone's life really nowadays is better than it was.
Nah, it's not.
But I think that people
not everyone.
Not financially, like.
Nah, maybe not like, but in the sense of like security of like.
We've all got a big TV, innit? We've all got a fucking internet connection. Like you've all got something to lose, but at the same time, Everyone used to have a spare room, innit? If people want to stay over, or like your rent wasn't fucking £1 million.
Yeah, that's true.
What's fucking shit about how things are now, like, is that it's acceptable now to come out with all this right wing shit publicly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but
people like Boris are giving way to stuff like that.
And the whole thing with the right wing left
are going like that. In a way, like I just you know what I mean, just those kind of things. Like, he can say horrible shit about Muslim women, but it's deemed acceptable and what have you.
He's got books in it. He's published books.
And it's like
letterbox women, this, that, the other, and horribly racist, and that's the guy. That's
it. You know what I mean? And then there's all these people like doing shit the other night. You know, when we came out of Europe on the 31st or whatever. And people were fully out, like, you know, doing the celebrity thing and coming out with horrible shit. Like, somebody said, who was it the other day? Somebody said they were over in Southmead and saw, like, just racist shit, like, racist graffiti or whatever, just something sprayed up. Yeah. And he said, I've not seen that since early 80s in Bristol. So that's what I mean.
That's what's happened in America, now it's happening here.
Did anyone see fucking...
It's polarised. It's becoming like... It's becoming like fucking completely this way or completely that way, and there's no middle ground for people to just... If people just sat down and talked... and like found common ground, you'd realise that everyone wants the same thing. And really, it's poor people that get shafted. And it doesn't matter what fucking religion or colour or anything else, it's like poor people that get shafted, and that's as simple as that. And as soon as we stop fucking like hating on other poor people just because of their fucking religion or the colour of their skin,
that's right.
Like,
they get tricked into that hate.
You get tricked into fucking hate, and it's just
and people are
like working class people voting Tory, man.
Yeah, there you go. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts. It's nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was raised to never ever, like, you know what I mean? Like, my mum and dad was in the poll tax riots, like climbing lampposts to get away from fucking beatings off the police and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, never fuck with the Tories because they will fucking take the country and chop it up and divide it between themselves. Like,
that's it, right? And as well, like, I think that's kind of been the influence on me growing up. It's like the way that my old man did. Like, his family really, really came from nothing at all. Like, fucking really desperately poor, innit? And like, he's always been the same thing, being like, you know, they used to say stupid shit when they were at school and stuff, like, about your betters. They used to say to the kids back then, you know, something about, I don't know, obviously, properly, but it was like, oh yeah, like, your betters, and they were talking about the upper classes. They were already trying to tell the kids in school, and he was just like, well, why the fuck are they better than me? Do you know what I mean? Oh, because they got a bit of money. Do you know what makes them better? Do you know what I mean? And so luckily, like, so I think that's kind of helped me talk, you know, just with my views and stuff, that, you know, he wasn't like blaming anyone else for the situation. He's just like, well, actually, we're all trying to be shouted. They don't give a fuck about none of us. Let's just, do what I mean, do our own way. And like, and I can see it, you know. It's just like, there is a big divide with shit. And I'll tell you what annoyed me the other week as well, the other day even, is, did you see the post fucking Devlin put up on Instagram?
Yeah.
What, put up the fucking Union Jack one and that, but in the comments he's like saying some go, if you don't like it here, fucking move and stuff, or why are you living in Britain? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and that's what I mean. People like that, I'm thinking, man, you've got.
Like, I'll play devil's advocate here,
yeah, go on.
And at the same time, like, if he feels like that, let him fucking express it, and let other people express their views. Like, the whole thing is like, so long as like there's not too much push on one side, if everyone's like saying, well, that's fucking wrong, then it's only going to make those people more inflamed and more enraged to be like, fuck this, everyone thinks, and it will make them seem like they're a bigger proportion than they actually are. Like, realistically, most of the shit that happens, like with him, like, Devlin's clearly not a racist person.
Clearly not.
Do you know what I'm saying? But how many people will jump on that thing and be like, he's a fucking EDL member, he's racist, rah. And I'm not condoning what I like. I've seen the Union Jack thing. I haven't seen the fucking comments or whatever. But at the same time, like, if everyone jumps on it and is like, fuck this guy, he's a fucking racist. He's not. He's just got a fucking view that, like, needs articulating,
which I get.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not like
I do get, but I think his responses to it, or maybe at least the way he worded it, that's what got me more. It wasn't the fact he just said,
just like, go home.
Yeah, it's just stupid shit like that. And no, we're now out of, you know, and he's talking about pride of being British. Do you know what I mean? He's not choosing his words carefully. This, that, and the other.
Stupid.
Here you go.
I can't really.
Do you see what I mean? Like, so I'm looking at that.
Pride about being British. Like, what have you got to be proud about? Do you know what I'm saying? You conquered half the world and fucking.
Yeah, it's just
started gulags and all sorts of shit. Fuck that.
There you go. It's stuff like that, and that's when it was like. And the thing is, what we're
lucky to be British.
But like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
But not, like, you know what I'm saying.
But like, I felt for a dude in this position. Obviously, yeah, he's got his view, like you said. But I thought to say that kind of shit, to actually, you must know you're creating or being part of the divide, innit?
Yeah, you are, man. You're right.
If he said, whatever it is, this is a day, let's all be respectful, or you put it up a bit more. I guess I was being a bit more of a pacifist in a way. If you had to say anything a fucking tool that day, in that position, with that many people following you, not. This is our day now, independent. He put fucking Independence Day.
Yeah, he could have just said like good luck or some shit. Do you know what I mean? Or even just posted it and not. I don't know.
Just anything. To be fair, if you had to say something, you'd have to say something more positive when you got that many people. Not Independence Day and telling people to fucking go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Pride and shit.
And I had to back it in the comments.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird how everyone's going like, even people like public figures and shit. People are going fully like they don't give a fuck no more. People don't give a fuck. Like they're just like, I'll say it how I think it. Like, because if the fucking president of the United States and Boris Johnson, they can all say it how they think it.
That's what I
can say how I think it.
That's what I'm saying.
So people are just like, right.
The shit's made acceptable. That's what I mean. And
we're heading towards some crazy shit.
We're heading towards better times ultimately. Because once everyone's exposed themselves, you only got the real left.
That's good. That makes me feel better about it.
Then what's going to happen? We're just going to hunt them down.
No, but they just explode. You don't fuck with them, innit? Whatever.
I know. That doesn't happen because there's so many people that follow that. That's the problem.
But we're heading towards it, I swear down.
Yeah, but what are we heading to? What, all those people that there's more and more people following that crazy fucking like polarized like opposites now than there ever was, and there's more people following every day. How the fuck is that gonna like switch?
Because once everyone exposes themselves.
Yeah, but everyone. If everyone does, then there's no change.
Everything's accountable. Everyone's all online, isn't it? Everything you ever say now. People do.
But everyone's doing it, so there's no
the BBC,
fucking.
They do what they can get away with. They're gonna stop raping kids now. Like. No, look, honestly though, innit? For real. Like,
they're
gonna stop doing it now. They can't get away with it, right?
They're gonna stop turning a blind
ultimately,
eye to that shit anyway.
Ultimately, over like 100 years, that shit's like you're just left with the real shit. Surely, once all of the nasty shit's exposed out of everyone, then cool people that want. I don't know, man. I'm Eden like.
Nah, it's
just be left with loads of people that want to fuck with each other. That's cool. Surely.
Unless all those people get fucking culled off.
Yeah. I mean, we got a good 100 years of it. We're not going to see it. We just got the cold fuckery that's coming. But
the Cold War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, man.
We did.
That was a good little.
We did.
That was it. Where did we get to? Because
we never even touched on the wish stuff yet.
I think that would be. Yeah. So, known them for years, right? But it's just one of them where, like, because. Actually, I met his cousin first, Ellis. Do you know Ellis?
Ellis, he used to do the film in Ellis.
He's Eastern, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what did he use the film for?
I know him as a spitter, but...
Yeah, I didn't know him filming anything.
Am I tripping? Yeah.
Not sure, but he was... I remember
I recognise the name.
When, I tell you what, Word Life as well. The Word Life's the ones at Snug, when that was on.
Yeah, when it first started there.
Yeah, man, that was... That was a good night.
Yeah,
that's how I met a lot of
was that the like tunnel one? Yeah,
it was Golden
used to be. That's right.
Arcade.
Used to be arcade. It's now Caribbean Craft.
Yeah,
that one. And
had the little bit out the back and like.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So it's one of them where standard thing. Someone comes up, asks his DJ for him, and so he come up, asked me, and I was just really impressed with his set and his tunes because he just had it was just some really good. Like rap, innit? Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh man, I've never heard of this guy. He's sick and what have you. And he was doing the official recording stuff then with Dashvilles and Wish.
Yeah.
Part of that.
Yeah.
And then obviously he's his cousin. So like, and then it was from there. And I was, I always knew who Wish was because he was always sort of about doing something. And same with Dashvilles. But like, and then I think it was after one of the Upfests or something. There's something like that where Wish had some new stuff he played that night, and I was like,
What, at Upfest?
yeah, me, Twizzy and Jinx had played. I want to say it was then. There was some point where he'd done one of his official recording sets at them too. Yeah. He played some stuff that I was like, oh mate, so we decided chatting from then on, and oh yeah, we should do a tune or stuff like that. And then one night, I'll just come round or whatever. And he played me the Boom Back to the Future album or bits of it and what he'd done, and I was just like, fucking hell, like, do you know what I mean? I was like, and I remember just sort of being like, man, this is the shit I want to hear as a fan. I'd buy that. Yeah. And so that was that. I just said I was like, have you got a DJ then? So no, I was like, do you want one? Like, do you know what I mean? That was that basically. Just like, because I believed in it as well. Yeah. It was just like, I back it so much, this stuff, you know what I mean? And it was.
Wish is one of those people, man, that like, I think he like creates an energy around himself, like that like makes, like he fully believes in himself. Rightfully so. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But then he like he'll put that energy on everyone around him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
He's fucking sick, man. And it's like, it's nice to see you guys.
Like, well then we just became like real good mates as well. Yeah. Like, I go around there most days after work and stuff. And we just either go through music or we generally like got the same sort of sense of humour, man. Because he's got quite a silly sense of humour and that. Do you know what I mean? We just have a laugh like for ages. So we're just generally good mates as well. You know what I mean?
So like shows as well recently. You've been smashing the shows, man.
Oh man, like we've had some nice ones. Yeah, it's been good, man. Like big
shows as well, isn't it?
Man, like we had some good ones over summer too. To be fair.
Yeah.
So like St. Paul's.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh mate, that was wicked.
That was mad, wasn't it? Oh yeah, because you were on just before me, weren't you?
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah,
that was the most carnival that was like carnival. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was fucking sick, mate.
So good.
It was fucking great. That
like Helen was fully pregnant. That was the only thing. Like it was like, we can jam. Like there's no way we can jam. Like Helen might just give birth right now.
Yeah, that was sick.
That was great, man. Because I remember you guys had been on just before. Because Crazy had offered me like I was doing my like producer showcase sets then, like the AFT stuff, like with the Always Finding Trouble launch and that. So I had to do one of those, but like a really condensed version of it, because we only had like 15 minutes each or something, wasn't it? Or 20 minutes or something.
Yeah,
20 minutes, I think, to try and have like how many other MCs in a set.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd been practicing for 2 days with nobody there, like just because everyone was busy.
Everyone on, didn't you? Did you bring loads of people?
Yeah, I brought loads of people on. I'd press one.
Yeah.
Shouts to Press, man. I'm not really saying anything about Press, but
changes,
super talented guy. Man.
I love Press, man.
I love Press. Press one's such a slept on.
I met him a couple of times, but I chatted to him.
He's a fucking sick guy, man. And he's real nice as well. Like, he's someone like I say, time permitting, time is the fucking killer. Yeah. But again, with more time, I'd love to work with Press.
I remember him back in the day when he was in Jump Off. Yeah. He battled Skinny Man when he was like 17 or something. It's on YouTube. I remember watching that at college.
I think I might have watched that, but did Skinny body him now?
Well, yeah, because he was 17, but like he was all. But for a 17-year-old kid, and it was all off the top. Yeah, it came at him.
I'm not fucking.
Oh no, you're not.
I'm definitely not. But I'm just saying, I remember watching it.
You better watch this now. How much I just backed him there, like.
I met Jinx for the first time at Jump Off.
Do you remember when Jinx battled Stig?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Jinx the battle Stig down by the fountains where there used to be that fucking big like yacht thing. They made that sculpture, where it was all the big wooden fucking pillars and it had all the weird little. Do you remember when? Right. I'm just gonna go there, just because I remembered it. I've just got to say it. But do you remember when that shit used to be fucking 2 big roundabouts with loads of flowers in the middle?
What, before it was the fountains?
Before it was even fountains,
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that was long. Shit.
But anyway. St. Paul's. St. Paul's. So it was Press. St. Paul's. I had Press, Goose. Chillman was there. I think he did a tune with Goose, but like, and then Twizzy, Jinx, and I'm gonna feel bad because there's someone I'm forgetting.
I know that.
I DJ'd for Wish later, but Wish didn't come in my set, so I think that was. Oh no, that was it. That was that because Jinx did some solo stuff at the end. So we did the stuff from the album I'd done with Twizzy. Then we had Jinx on a tune with Twiz, and Jinx finished off on the thing. So so what was that, like 4 or 5 MCs on the set?
Yeah.
5. And I had 20 minutes to try and get all their stuff in. I remember being at home for like the day for all day, just practicing banging them in with a timer on to see if I got you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember Crazy came up being like, "Oh, you got one song left," and I was like, "No, I ain't," because I know I timed it to a T. I knew for a fact I fucking didn't. You know what I mean? And so like, yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but it was great, man. But I just remember when
the crowd was wicked at that thing.
After your set, do you remember the host hadn't appeared yet, and Relly had finished, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know." So I just bigged you guys up. I was like, "Fuck it, so I'll host it. I'll do that thing." And I was getting into my set with that, and the lady who was hosting was shouting me from the back. She's like, "Hey, who are you? Who are you?" Like that, like I was some random kid. And it just threw me. I was doing all right then. I was like,
though,
she is blessed. She's awesome, man.
She gave us the best intro. She was, what was it? She goes, "See them on the phone, you hear them on the telly. It's Rogan really."
She was sick. Yeah, she was fucking ace, man.
Yeah, she was sick.
Yeah, she was cool. Yeah, she was shouting
I
at me.
can't remember her name actually.
I forgot her name. I saw her recently with Wish somewhere. She's dead cool, like, but she's but she's yelling at me, and I thought, oh, this is alright. And I was hosting just because somebody quickly needed to host, didn't it? Yeah. Couldn't find any of my lot. I don't know if they were all prattling about. So it was all right. What I was actually doing, I was like, oh, I feel a bit confident, and then it was her shouting at me, and it just threw me. It just, you know, those ones, you're just like, just like, ew, like that. Just like, yeah. Press, take this mic away from me. Like, you know,
what's the worst like show that you've ever done? Like, what's the worst thing that's happened at a show that's like made a show go fucking sideways?
A gig,
even if it was something you've seen, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, just the one thing that was like the most sideways shit at a fucking show. Because so much shit can happen. Like,
I don't know where to start with that. Like,
well, maybe we'll find it for you then. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I know it when you were there, Blue Mountain.
What happened?
Remember when I DJ'd for Skinny Man that time? So
yeah.
And security came up on stage, those ones. That was when I remember a gig going completely fucking sideways.
I wasn't there, bruv.
You've been there earlier?
Yeah, I was there. I played it that night.
Oh, you weren't there at the time?
I switched. Remember that kid tried battling me?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Same night.
And I was I just broke. I can't remember what had happened. Like, I just had my teeth taken out or some fuckery shit, yeah, and I couldn't like speak properly, and I found out it was all like a charity night for an album, not for like a person and shit, and I got a little bit pissed off about the fact that I was performing for free for someone's album to come out when I've put out my own fucking albums for years, or split, you know what I mean? We've built to put out our own albums, so I'm never looking for a handout for an album. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that that's not something you could do, and it's not something that I don't like condone. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or whatever, but
yeah.
And I was in a bad mood, man. But what? So what happened with you though, bro?
It weren't even really with me, like, but it was just. So anyway, like, you know how it is. There's a few people back of you and that, like, do you know what I mean? Skinny's playing. He's got some of his boys there, whatever. A few Bristol lot, and of course, like, you know, a few lads are smoking and this, that, and the other. And of course, like, security. The thing is, though, right, from what I remember was that it was real, and it was literally like, as in smoky as fuck. Because it was almost hotbox for a minute up there. Do you know what I mean? At the start. And then toward about an hour into the set, or maybe 50 minutes into the set, that's when security came upstairs. And 2 or 3 of them got round Skinny. And we're having a go, And Skinny said something on the mic like, oh, what did he say? He's like, because at first I wheeled up the tune anyway, because obviously he stopped spitting. So I wheeled it up. He stopped spitting, I wheeled it up anyway. And he said something about, nah, come on, we're going to carry on with this, never mind the Babylon. And the one guy from security kicked the fuck off over him, calling him Babylon, like, you know. And then I just heard boom, and Skinny had just chucked the fucking mic down. I was literally squaring up to this dude, so I fucking hopped over the decks. I was like, no, fucking, you know what I mean, trying to sort it out. We ended up sort of having to get him through the car, and I just remember after that being like, shit, what do we do? Because obviously he's got all of his fans there watching as well. And oh man, you've just reminded me of an even worse one, because it kind of, I've had this situation twice. So that's that one where I'm thinking, I hope the fans aren't going to think what the fuck's going on, or do you know what I mean? Because you're pushing for a crowd, you don't want, you know, some cunt might be a bit pissed off. Like I remember Leaf and BVA were late to a set once, and I remember some kids being like, what are you, like, some pissed up dude just go, what are you doing? I'm setting up the decks. I'm like, well, I'm getting stuff ready. I was helping finger food set up. Where? No, I go, fuck off. I'm waiting for Leave and Beef. And I was like, mate, you want to fuck off, like, da. And I turned around and I felt it, not properly. He tried to jump and, like, hit me, but of course I'm on stage. So he just sort of brushed past my leg, and I just turned round, and I shouldn't really be proud of it, but I just turned round and stepped on his head.
Yeah, fuck that.
I was just like, and it was so casual. I'm just I just went like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck him. And he was just stood on his head, like, and then he's still there. He obviously wasn't really about something, because if, to be fair, someone's stood on your head, you're going to jump up and you're going to fucking go. He was just still stood there. And then whoever it was, I was like, yeah, can we just get this guy out of here? You know what I mean? So I remember, like, you know, so I thought then when I'm in the crowd, like, oh shit, I don't want someone to turn thinking I'm pushing Skinny Man away, and I'm like, yeah, you never know, these people, you know, people are fucking nuts, right? So like, but then give it a month later, I'm playing in London, and I was booked on Eric Sermon was in London, so I'm gassed, mate. I was like, Eric Sermon, like, you know, love EPMD and all that, and there's a couple of American guys I was DJing for over there, and there was a woman come out. She was singing, and she was singing over classic hip hop beats, and the night was running late. The crowd just weren't having it. Do you know what I mean? They were pissed off. They wanted to see Eric Sermon. London crowd's hard like that in it as well. For classic hip hop, they just want to see what they want to see. So they're fucked off already. They just start booing her, and I've never played and anyone's been booed ever in my life. Yeah. Fucking, as in, it was deafening. You know, and I was just like, oh shit, and I must have gone white. So I'm on the next side.
That'd hurt, man.
And I felt bad for her.
I hate that.
I felt bad for her, but I was just like, what the fuck is this? You know, eh? Like, I've never ever had anyone boo or heard boo ever, and been on stage at the time. I was like, this is fucking shit. Anyway, next guy comes out, who's her husband, but is also an MC on the bill. So of course he comes out. That's my fucking wife. That's my fucking wife. And so he's having a go.
What is this?
You want to talk about things going wrong? Fuck me, yeah. So like, Jesus, right? And I'm there. And
did he come out with that attitude as well?
He came out, sucked my dick, London, everything, balls to the wall. Hey, mate. Mate, one of the he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. But try being a DJ in that position. Plus not being from London as well, isn't it? Like, so I'm like, I'm white as a sheet now. I'm just like, shit, guys. Let's just wrap this up. Oh god, mate. And went from a night where I was so happy to be there. I might have a little bit more. Yeah.
That's all that's left, mate. So.
Yeah, so I went from being happy as fuck, like Eric Sermon. This is going to be amazing, and it was shit. It was horrible. Yeah. I had to go. I just ended up. A and Jimmy were there as well, so I thank fuck in a way. I was just like thank fuck for that, you know. And I remember going through the crowd at one point trying to just get my stuff, and this big fucking dude, like 3 of his mates were in the way, and I was like, oh shit. And I was like, because I could tell they were just pissed off about everything, you know, Sean and that. So I was just like timid as fuck, like, excuse me, mate. Like, do you know what I mean, Johnny? Yeah, and they're like, what? And I'm like, mate, do you mind go just get food? Like, and he's like, what are you saying, bruv? And I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, mate. And then they went, oh, hang on a minute, you're not American? I was like, no, I'm British. Like, you're DJing for the Yanks. I was like, yeah, I know. And like, oh no, sorry, mate. And they were obviously pissed about Sean. Thought I was Yank. So. And A's sort of stood there ready, and I was, you know, just like, calm, and you know what I mean. And I thought I was going to get my fucking head kicked in that night, just because of the way that Sean had been with them, because it got so volatile in there. And so no, it was cool. And then they were just like, oh no, it's alright, mate. So, you know, and then they were actually all sounds. Do you know what I mean? And chatting to them for a bit, they were cool. A few other people were still a bit trying to get through that crowd. Was a bit like, oh, that fucking guy was with the dude who just told us to suck his dick, you know. And then anyway, get to the back. Eric Sermon's in there, fucking hilarious, right? He's having a go at because he's completely teetotal. Doesn't smoke fags, doesn't like the smell of fags. Somebody had smoked a cigarette in the room like fucking 3 hours before, and he knew. Do you know what I mean? Okay, like on that shit, like he on knew it. Fucking shit, knew. And he's stood in there, right, and he's telling them all off, like as I go to get my bag and that, and he's just going, "One of you motherfuckers has been smoking in here," telling them off like this. And his tour manager, who was the nicest guy ever, this big American dude called Trevor. Shouts to Trevor if he ever sees this, but like, man, Trevor stood there, just going, "Oh, I'm sorry, Eric, it was me. Yo, Eric, I'm sorry." And he's still having to go at everybody for it. And he's going, I just don't know what else to say. I'm sorry, Eric. Oh, I'm sorry. Just taking the bollocking. So Sermon's done great. The whole fucking crowd wants to kill us now, yeah. Sermon's pissed off somebody smoked a fag in his room. I've got to get back to Bristol anyway now, you know. So I just didn't give a shit then. I turned, Eric. And he looked at me, I was like, oh man, Billy, I stood in for the DJ tonight. And he just switched and he was cool. He's like, oh man, that's what's up. Yeah, cheers. And then he was like, you know, when I cheers.
He needed a way out. He probably got like...
No, but when I picked up my bag, he went back to telling them off. No, I picked up my bag and he went back to telling them off again. Yeah. So this shit has got to stop. Telling them off. So that was the so in the end, I think me and they just left out fire exit because we were just fuck that, and then we were just prattling about. We just started laughing about how bad that went. You know, like we couldn't quite believe it. We just had to be like, no way.
It's like meeting them sometimes, isn't it, when you meet your heroes or whatever.
Mate, it was cool meeting someone, but just the fact of how that gig went, I've never seen a crowd like that ever.
Yeah. Keith Murray was funny, isn't it?
So that's it. Like Keith Murray was sick, but fucking Onyx in Greece was the funniest, man. I swear, I don't know if I fucking said this on here before. I apologise if I repeat myself, but
you haven't said it Onyx,
nah. So Onyx in Greece, we went to play in Athens. Salonika, sorry. And Onyx was playing. Anyway, they did their show. Yeah, we was just sharing the same green room. So we had 2 green rooms next to each other, or whatever, and we was all jamming. I was like, to Sticky Things. I was like, yeah, man, big up, man. You fucking killed the show. Do you know what I mean? We spied it. He was like, nah, I didn't kill the show. I was like, alright. He's like, yeah, I hate that. I brought life to it. I was like, oh shit, sorry, man. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just a term of phrase, isn't it? He's like, I hate terms of phrases. I'm just like, I was like, like, do you know what I mean? He wasn't like super rude to me, but like he wasn't on talking to me.
You just couldn't say anything right.
He's like, I don't like terms of phrases. I was like, alright, safe, man. Like, I got you there, yeah.
Oh man, I just want to see Sticky Fingers in any situation now and see him say he hates it.
I'm from a different...
oh, this is my new puppy. I hate puppies. I love to see that shit. Like, Sticky Fingers hating everything. I hate sunshine.
I hate terms of phrases. It's just terms of phrases.
I've been in a room with him as well, this same size, isn't it? He's fucked, isn't he?
What's that?
I've been in a room with him the same size as this.
Yeah, the green room is smaller than this shit.
He's mental.
But
him and Fredro, they're both...
Fredro was like way more like
he's safe, but
forward
he's
and
like,
safe, and like, you know what I'm saying? Sticky fucking shot his gun off in an award.
The Source, wasn't it?
Source, the first Source Awards before it was like a big thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Because he didn't win best. Was that because he didn't win best video or something?
He's a different guy.
Fair
play, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's killing it. He's on tour all the time. They don't stop touring.
Mate, I DJ'd for them at Motion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing probably I've ever done. Like literally. They were safe as fuck in the backstage room. I met them before, and they wanted to do a shout out thing. So like Big L, Tupac, Biggie, da da da. I didn't have the Hail Mary instrumental, which their promoter sent me, but it wasn't there.
Right.
So they're like, I'm chatting to them. I haven't got it. So whatever, cool. They're just like, alright, we'll just miss it out. We'll just go to the next tune. Blah blah blah. Go to the fucking stage, do the set. I played a set before as well. And then they're going to come out when I drop Mobb Deep, that's the deal. Like, I've already squared it with them, innit? So I drop Mobb Deep, nothing. Fuck's sake. Then the artist liaison comes on stage, drags me off stage with a replacement DJ to take me back. She's like, they're kicking off, I don't know what's going on. I'm just like thinking, fuck, I'm going to go to the backstage and Onyx is kicking off. Like, what the fuck? I go in there, they're like, you didn't play the tune, man. I was like, yeah, I did. They're like, it's like dance music. I'm like, no, that's like that room. Like, I'm over here. Like,
oh, man.
Because the back room thing's here.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, it's alright, cool.
So they were listening to the room playing dance.
Yeah, they just thought I was just some dubstep DJs. But so anyway, I go back out.
Yeah.
Go back out. The DJ just replaced me earlier now. I was playing like fucking techno or something. The whole front of the crowd has changed faces. Like, everyone's like, I've got to bring it back to hip hop.
Those ones.
Yeah.
That's when like being a DJ who can also control the crowd with a mic is the benefit.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I like doing that.
Yeah.
I do it a few times now. I used to do it a lot more.
When
I first started.
I reckon it's a good thing
to get over when I couldn't mix that.
I reckon it's a good thing to be able to do, man. To be able to do like both, like in a situation like that where it's like you've got to go out and just be like, that's what I'm saying. Like hip hop DJs, because fucking I don't know, is it hip hop crowds? Fuck knows, but people are fickle. It would be like, whatever, go somewhere else, like go get a drink or whatever, like come back to the stage. But if you're like on the crowd, and you're like, nah, like you've got to stay here because the next thing you're about to see is like.
Yeah, that's how I started doing that when I started doing the bee noise stuff I was talking about. That's when I got into that anyway.
What, the like interaction with the crowd?
Yeah, because I would always do like a real quick mini mix of like just bangers for like 5 minutes or something, but just
switching between.
So you had like you know people there, and then I'll be like,
that's
right,
a good way to get people in, man. That's
and
what
then I'll be
me
like now, and then we start the set as in our tunes like then. So that's what I used to do really, like, and it was good as well because it didn't feel like you stretched out doing half hour. Yeah, if that makes sense. So I done 10 and then they do 20 and then they were gone. So it's like at the time because we didn't have anything out as well, so it would leave people being like, oh, that was sick, and people being like dipping out for fags. You're catching more people in there watching you for the shorter amount of time back then. For starting out wise, definitely the helping on the being on the mic thing did help back then as well. So last time I did that was at the Syntax show at Attic actually because Visky played, and he'd absolutely killed it. Like, no, I rate that kid. Like, shouts to Visky, man. Like, and I wheeled up his last tune. He had some absolute bangers his last tune, and I just couldn't help it. I was like, nah, fucking do that. And
I want to hear more out of those boys, man. I want to see like more. I'd like to see some fucking like good music videos and shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just a bit more content that's like easily accessible. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So I can go on YouTube and be like, all right, here's a fucking. I like seeing that people are real, like invested in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I like seeing that, and I'm not like I've been backing them boys, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't really heard much of Risky shit, so I can't really comment.
He's a dope rapper, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got a nice beat selection too. He's kind of got
he did that one recently over like a slower beat.
I really need to.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. Yeah.
Can I hit the pistol quickly?
Right? Yeah, man.
What time are we on?
2:05.
2:05. Alright. Well, yeah. Give me a second.
Alright, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, he is good, man. Like, just as Sally says, man, if they get some more stuff out there, because I don't really know, because they all talk about, like, I like what they're doing, as in being Burns Man a lot, but I don't really know who. Yeah, I'd like to know who all of them are.
That's the thing, isn't it?
I know who certain guys are.
Stands out, isn't it? I guess.
But then somebody will add me on Insta and he'll be like Burns Man. I'm like, this guy as well, like, you know, which is cool. Like, and I'm glad that they're all doing something.
No, yeah, it's good to see.
I just want to hear it, man. Like stuff like that, man. I always like someone new coming to. I like seeing it. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody's on stuff at the moment, isn't it? Everybody's.
100%.
It seems like everyone around us that's always been there, like everyone's like working harder now, or like, or not even working harder, just like working more sensible in it.
Yeah, you're right.
Like towards it becoming something, I guess.
But this is what I liked when Jinx was doing his. He's gonna kill me. I've forgotten the name of his last project. But anyway, he got all of his beats from outside of his normal luck. There wasn't me. There wasn't SH. There was no he just outsourced and bought them, what have you. And it was fucking ace what he come back with.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's just
invest in, man. Invest in and like.
And Twizzy's doing an album with Chillman now, like we were saying.
Yeah,
that'd be sick. Because again,
it's ill, man. Like, I met Chillman at that carnival we were talking about earlier. That's the first time I met him, literally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was on stage, and I think Goose was like, when he hears a certain type of beat, it's either me or Chillman or whatever, and that's how we bopped us there. So
yeah. Nah, dead cool, man. Good guys.
Yeah, definitely. Man.
Goose as well, man. Like I like Goose's style. He's just very much himself, and we got another video drop.
But he's amazingly he's really good at spitting as well. Like, on a textbook level, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, we work quite well together actually. Like we've got another video dropping as well.
Yeah.
Which we shot in summer. So I'm just trying to get more of this project wrapped up and maybe a few videos to prepare. That's the only thing with always finding trouble. Like it was a bit like I had the No Name one ready, and then Crown of Thorns video it wasn't rushed. It was fine, but it was almost an afterthought.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's because I was looking at finances and
yeah.
Who was paying for the video? those ones, which was me, But I'm glad I did. I've made that money back, which is fine. Just about. But
at the same time, it's almost like a starting point as well, isn't it? Like, for that type of
Because it was a solo thing of mine as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was fine. So I didn't mind investing in that because I was still investing in myself.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's never looked back on that. But obviously, certain procedures delayed getting stuff ready to put out that project. So
always.
yeah.
Every project, every time.
Whereas this time, so it's basically like the mistakes I learned the first one.
Yeah.
It's like what I've taken into this one. This one, I'm trying to get a couple of videos in the pipeline before it goes out, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so.
Is that with the new project?
Yeah.
I jumped back in.
Yeah, I was just saying, just learning mistakes from what.
Just kind of learn it as you go. Each project you've learned something from the last one. That gives you more skills.
Unless you go to fucking, especially as an independent artist, unless you go to like RCA or like somewhere to learn like music management and all these other things, like you'll make bare mistakes.
Yeah, of course.
And unless you learn from them, you'll just get left by the wayside. Like you could.
Of course. Yeah.
There's a lot of mistakes to be made.
All the mistakes.
100%. You know what I mean?
100%.
You know what?
All the mistakes you make in one is like skills for the next one.
Yeah.
As long as you learn
it's a lesson. It's not.
Yeah, as long as you actually.
Cool.
Yeah, it's funny you touched on this as well because I was saying about Blade earlier. Like, you know, how me and Blade are in quite a bit of contact now. And I don't really know how it started, but we were always speaking and what have you. And which is, one, a bit surreal for me because that was like the guy that got me into everything.
Yeah,
but, you know, every few days he'll just ring me up and be like, oh, how's things? And we have a chat.
That's mad.
It's cool. And
we chatted a bit on Instagram and like, we're like, let's fucking make something happen at some point.
Yeah. He's
it's a pretty like
because he's managing the group now, and what he was saying about them, the 521 thing, which well actually it's, they have kind of got it though in separate ways, so he's managing just one of them now.
That was it, isn't it? Yeah, I thought he was still managing all of them.
Nah, that Cobra Kane dude is.
Oh right, I don't know that.
But well, you know, just gone and done his own thing. Stuff didn't work out. Go like that, don't you? So like, but yeah, he was saying as well to me, going, oh, you know, because obviously. It's like what we were just saying. He's like, I'm just trying to say to the guys right now that like we're making our mistakes at the beginning. You know, and it just all brought me sort of like, oh yeah, well, you know, that was kind of like really a few years ago, and I was putting stuff into my solo projects. I was like, yeah, exactly, yeah. I kind of remember doing this where, or at least, you know, there might be because he's put quite a bit of you know, money into it. Like I say, they've got like a ridiculous amount of videos ready, lined up, innit? And he's putting out one by one.
He's got fucking shit stacked up, man. Like. It's like he didn't go into retirement. He just like went into hiding and just made shit. Like
he did the CD thing for ages, isn't it?
Still does it.
Quick
burn, like he still does it. Yeah, that's what he kind of.
He must have made good money off that, man.
He was lucrative.
That's what he did.
He was. There's a lot of people we got for.
He did everyone's. He must have did everyone's.
He did. He still does like, you know, the mainstream stuff, doesn't he?
Like, does he? I don't know.
If there's like CDs of like Skepta and all that's from him, and he did loads. So he's done from like, you know, the mainstream dudes to he's done the high focus stuff. And then he'll take, you know, anyone as well. You know what I mean? So
I think we might have done something at some point.
Yeah, I think he did Bus or something.
He did League, he did League as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember Milo being on the phone to him in my house before I knew him.
Yeah.
And I was a bit surreal. Shit. I was like, he's on the phone to Blade. Like, and Hurley sat there like, who's Blade? I was like, nah, but like, you know, oh, shouts Hurley there, man. Like, bless him. But yeah, so like, so he's going through all that with this group he's managing about making the mistakes at the beginning, or at least learning from stuff, because obviously they're like a more sort of, like more like new form of rap, you know, not quite trappy or drill, but it's like a modern rap shit. You know, I mean, it's just not like boom bap, and they're not aiming to be underground either. They're trying to get the following, but they'll do whatever they get to. I'd say he's got stuff stacked, and he's always got a plan. Like, I mean, he was the dude that was selling like, you know, copies out of his backpack when he always when he was pioneer that going down the record shops.
That's what everyone had to do back then. You know what I mean? All the people.
Everyone will even like Jazz T or anyone like that, or they've always said. I think it was Jazz, but anyway, there's a load of interviews where they've been like,
what, that he was
Blade
the
was
dude,
the guy doing that, going to record shops, records, right? So getting them pressed up at a plant. And he did this video recently where he hadn't gone and sold them all. He's ended up getting a load of them, and he was broke because he ended up coming over from he's Armenian.
So he came over from when he was young, innit?
That's right. And so something happened over there where I'm not really quite sure to details, but anyway, he lost contact with his family as a kid, so he ended up being here. So he really was on his fucking own. Do you know what I mean? So he ended up sort of working odd jobs and this and that, or just getting money by means and what have you, and ended up pressing up all these records. But because he hadn't sold them all straight away or as quickly as he ended up going back to the plant and being like, "Oh, they're press wrong." So he got his refund back on them, like, you know what I mean? And, you know, he did a video about it recently about how he ended up having to do it, and he said, you know, I'm not quite proud of this, but this is how desperate I was at the time. So ended up sort of getting him, so ended up sending him another fucking 100 or whatever it was, or something like that, and, you know. But that's what he did in the end, didn't he? He ended up taking them around, and, like, this is back when Westwood would have had a pirate thing, because he's got loads of respect for Westwood, like, you know. And
Westwood was the one back in the day, isn't it?
Do you know what the funny thing is?
Really, it was.
Do you see that stuff with him and Rodney recently?
Yeah,
or last year?
I did, yeah.
And now that, man, shall I tell you something really silly?
Come on, man. That's a level of disrespect that just can't be fucking.
Now check this out, right? When I was
there's truth to what Rodney's saying as well, isn't it? It's not like, you know what I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? But
well, what did Rodney say about it?
He just said what Westwood's up to, isn't it? Everyone knows anyway.
I've heard about that, but I don't know. But I don't want
trying to be daggering like 15-year-olds.
Yeah, but all that shit. I'm talking irrelevant to that. The fact that you could even say that after everything, the whole Westwood
about what?
No, that's the
Rodney didn't even need to turn back and say nothing.
No, of course not.
What about the gigs interview?
I'm not saying he shouldn't. Like, by all means. But at the same time, he didn't need to.
No, but it
what the fuck is he on about? And how Giggs handles it as well. Giggs is just like,
no.
and just looks at him just like, what? Doesn't even fucking. You know
it's Westwood trying to catch it.
That's the one thing that made. Like I rate Giggs here. Like I rate all them brand guys. Everyone in the UK. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I rate at the moment. I rate.
Same.
I've grown to appreciate all music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if it's whack, then I don't rate it.
Yeah.
If it's not whack, then most of the time I rate it. Like
that's. If I'm really honest, that's the music I'm buying. It really is.
What? So you buy more mainstream than you buy?
I do now. The last few years, yeah. I just end up because I
still
like
buy
DJing
more
it too.
Underground. I reckon I buy more underground, but I stream probably more. I don't even know.
I'm not. Yeah, I think the last few years I've definitely ended up buying more mainstream.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But so going back to like the thing. So check this out, guys. So after all that happened with them two, when I was saying about Rodney playing in Hereford. When we're back at Leonie's flat, pissed up. Yeah. I don't know what I said, and I must have said something that was. It was a little bit disrespectful about Westwood, but it was nothing major. I think I just was. I think I saw that. I think we had the radio on, and it was Westwood at the time. Yeah. So I must have done something, whether I took the piss out of his voice or nothing major, just being a bit drunk and a bit like that. And Rodney told me off for it. Like in a good way. Yeah. Like, no man, he was the guy. Like he was the guy that played us when no one else would. Yeah. Like, you know, he was the guy that helped, and he was talking about all this and that. Because I think this is the weird thing about him, about the shots they've been sending each other. Yeah, because if you look on the fucking Gangster Chronicle album, he's got some kind of credit on there, Westwood. Yeah. Like whether he helped push him to there. But then I don't know. I think they've obviously something going on years between them. Yeah. I guess I don't know. It's someone else's business. But I just always remember that Rod told me off for that, and I was like, I was a bit like, oh shit, I was just a bit drunk and a bit mouthy. I must have said something, and it wasn't even too bad. I think it was just something like that. I must have just done it in his voice or something stupid. Yeah. And he was like,
the same like that with Westwood though. He's a dickhead, isn't it? Whatever. But I'm the same. Like he did. His show back then was the only way to hear certain music. Definitely.
Do you reckon that's the same way people, like a lot of people, might look at Charlie Sloth, like people within our scene? Because Charlie Sloth brought through a lot of people.
He's done enough, isn't it?
Yeah, he brought a lot of grime heads through.
Yeah, he's done enough, yeah, totally.
He's brought a lot of the UK hip hop guys through as well back in the day. Like he was on.
He kind of replaced Westwood.
Well, he was UK hip hop before. Yeah, he was making tracks.
He was.
Yeah, of course.
That tune with Genesis Elijah and them back in the day. Do you remember the computer game one?
Yeah.
He's got a few.
Yeah, like he did loads. Do you remember that documentary?
He looked at the same way, I reckon, definitely.
I've never seen the documentary.
Have you not seen it? The one on. Do you remember that one? It was on BBC with him. It's like the story about him when he's proper young and there's Skinny Man, and they're both like. This is when Skinny was doing Council Estate of Mind, and so was it with Baby J? Because Baby J's in the interview. Yeah. Baby J's in the documentary anyway. And but Sloth's there, and he's classic, mate, because he's such a little fucker. Like he's about 16, and like. It's really funny because it's BBC, so it's BBC narrating. It's like, Charlie has a disagreement with someone else in the block. And like he's ridden on his moped to like, you know, this tower block and he's banging on the fucking door trying to get at some guy who's apparently grassed him up. It's hilarious. And this woman opens the door after he's gone. She goes, don't come round here making all that noise. And he goes, yeah, well don't bring drama to your yard then, cunt. It's like young Charlie Sloth was a boss, like... Just his moped helmet in his hand, just like, you know what I mean? Like, and then he's saying to these, I've forgotten the guy's name, but then there's like other kids around that live live in that estate, and he's just there sat on his moped being like, oh, you see him, yeah, you guys bail me, innit? Like,
I had that with Dina's, mate.
It's just the same thing.
Look at
Literally, I was like, if any of you see this guy writing this tag, yeah, you call me up here and I'll give you a $10.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. Yeah, it's funny if you can find it online. I forgot what it's called, like Tower Block Dreams or something.
Oh, is it that one? Yeah,
you know what? And then Skinny's on it too, and like.
Oh, but is it dramatised then? It's not like actually him being.
It's him when he's young. BBC don't put it up anywhere. They get it taken down.
Is it documentary footage or
documentary?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So he's proper young. Like he's he was called Sloth, wasn't he? Back then, and that was when like he used to.
I didn't realise he was in that.
Because he used to do a bit of grime in that, but he was like a UK hip hop dude. Like he used to do bits. He used to do bits.
Like
it wasn't acting. He was like it was just him.
It was him as a kid, documentary, and then Skinny Man's doing the thing, and
Heroin Heights and all that, wasn't it?
There you go, that stuff, and like Nasty Coo's in it.
Shit,
so he knew like Nasty Coo.
We're
like,
good with that.
Yeah, I swear it's he's in a flat MC with Nasty Coo on it when he's like 16 as well.
Yeah.
He was just Sloth. You know what I mean? That was just the name of it. Then Sloth.
I got more ratings for him now because I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's classic.
I rated more.
No, I've kind of always like I've always kind of rated him because he has brought bare people through, and like as I've got older, he's got more successful, and as I've got older, I've realised that success doesn't mean
he's very driven, man. By
they're not.
Too.
Yeah, and I appreciate people that are that driven.
Yeah,
because like watching people succeed from nothing is inspirational. 100%. And I'm not saying I want to go on that same, because you've got to go down a certain route to get that kind of money and that kind of success, and you've got to be a certain kind of person.
Yeah, 100%.
But you can take inspiration from that and go your route still. You know what I'm saying? So I grew to learn that
inspiring, isn't it?
that people like that aren't selling out. They're actually just fucking doing their thing and killing it and bringing other people through. Do you know what I'm saying? And like at a certain point, they have to only bring a certain type of person through because that's what fits their demographic with their channel or their.
Man, I agree. Like, you know, it's the same sort of thing where, you know, you can see in that documentary he's a little shit, but like, but he did. You're right. He grew from it, and he just knew he had to be doing something.
Yeah, but he was like, well, right, I'm gonna figure this out. He was like, right, rap ain't gonna work for me. I'm not gonna make mad peace. He was driven to make P. Right?
There you go.
Yeah,
and like, he was like, I can figure out. I can be a personality on radio, and like people are gonna like it. And then as soon as that popped, he would just like run with that because. That was his thing, like the whole Charlie stuff, like energy.
He came off the back of Westwood with that. Though.
That's right, though. Yeah, but same thing.
No,
he better.
He killed it.
Yeah, but I reckon better than Westwood because Westwood just sounded so. To me, Westwood just sounded like a 45-year-old dude trying to fucking.
He didn't in the 80s though. No, he sounded no.
He probably did though. That's the thing, but no one knew.
He always sounded like a dickhead. He always did.
No one knew back then.
Yeah, no, but he used to bring through shows, isn't it? Like his radio show was the one. Like
I played the show with Westwood actually. You just reminded me.
I'm not saying it was 100%. Like I'm not denying what he's done for the culture and everything. 100%. But like he's obviously a fucking helm.
There was a fucking.
But actually, I was gonna say I just remembered I played with Westwood again. Jailhouse.
Is it?
But he was actually quite cool. He was really. But it was like, you know, amazingly humble to the point of So there's these guys, right, that they used to manage that place.
That's nowadays, bro.
Oh yeah. I was
like
maybe back in the
times, mate.
This is
You've got to be humble because people are like, you never got shot, man.
Oh yeah, true. But you know, just things like where basically, you know, man, like basically had a load of food and that laid on for him, which he didn't ask for, but they just did that. The club did that, and he was like, oh, who did this? And he was like, can I go personally thank the guys? I want to go thank the guys for the food they'd done me. And so I had to like walk him across town to where it was. And of course you get some pissed at like, girls coming out of a pub and stuff and having photos. But he was just blessed. Like, cool. All good. Got there. And they couldn't believe he was there. It was really weird because I just walked around and I went, Tim Westwood's here to see you. Like that. And they're all working in the kitchen like, hey. Like, you know, and he just walked in and was just, thanking them all and shit. So, you know, in that terms of it, he was actually all right. But you can see that it's a caricature. It's like
oh yeah, 100%.
The radio version's him times 10. If you know what I mean. Which I guess you got to be because your personality is entertainment.
Also, that's like a fucking straight up publicity stunt in itself. I walk across town, make myself known that I'm in the city, thank the people in the place, so it's like a personal connection with this play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
I don't know. I just maybe he's a fucking good dude. He probably is. He's like I said, he's put on.
Dude,
I mean, from what I've heard, I'm just like that. But just seeing that personally and like, and he was alright, you know.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't fake. It didn't seem fake to you at all.
No, because he wasn't. I'll be honest, right? He wasn't even talking like he does on radio. He was just kind of like quite chilled and, you know. That's the way I got it, because I was like, he's not even doing that stupid voice, like, you know what I mean? He just seemed alright, but then you know you could be right about that, because I say I've heard from other people that's
just a ploy. It's a great PR stunt. Yeah. Like, why do you think all the rappers come out like the show and walk down the street and shit? That's like the best PR stunt ever. I mean, that shit's like fucking perfect. And radio.
Such a nice, true.
That's what they do in their daily job anyway. Like they'll like part of their radio show be like, I went down to so and so and spoke to this person, or they'll have like another anchor that went and did it or whatever. But
true,
it's not. I don't know. Maybe I'm being cynical, but
no. But I see where you're coming from, because like, as much as that was like an alright thing, I can still be a bit on the fence about. I can't be like, he's the soundest bloke ever, but in that instance, I was like, oh, well, you could have just fucking stayed in the zone in a way, but like
food and shit, and
then demanded shit. But
to be honest, you can still back Westwood. He hasn't done anything yet. He's not done a Bambata in it, so you can still back him. As soon as he does a Bambata, I'm not backing him in it.
With a Savile, Savile was
maybe, maybe he has done something, but
I'm not trying to KRS-1 him.
Jesus.
Man. But I forgot where we got to on that. But pretty much we just got to the Wish stuff, didn't we? Really?
I think that's
we haven't really gone into that.
So that's that really. Just so he's obviously done his Boom Back to the Future stuff and that. But
that's
he's working on that stuff.
I think. Boom Back to the Future, and then we diverted into Westwood. Shit.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's it now. Just like.
So you DJing shows for Boom Back to the Future, or are you guys like working on a project together?
Working on projects as well.
Yeah.
He's done a verse on my thing, but we've got our EP as well. The beats are all done. He's recorded, I think it's like 6 tracks we're gonna put out. So he's done 4 out of 6 already. You know what I mean? So I've just got to mix it basically. So that's.
You mix all your own shit then?
Mainly, but with a bit of help, if that makes sense. So I'll mix it at home to a degree, and then I'll go Jinx's, or I might ring up. I've done it a few times where I've gone to Habitus's and just said, "Oh, can I just come in and hear what it sounds like?"
There,
What about master? Do you do the master yourself?
Nah, I've got a mate of mine, kid I went to school with, called Pete Clough. He lives in Manchester now. He's like in the band scene up there.
Yeah.
So he's just on it. Yeah, he masters all my stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's good to have that, man. I like being a part of the mix, but a part of the master, obviously, that's fucking beyond my knowledge.
That's where you got to let go of it, isn't it?
Yeah, the master is.
I could master your stuff, but I couldn't master my own. Innit?
I think that's the right way to do it, though.
Yeah,
do you not think that it's good? It's good to have someone who masters shit who still respects the mix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No,
so if you're mastering it, don't say someone's mixed it so you can hear like a certain part of that, and then in the master almost get rid of it with the fucking compression or whatever. Like that bit kind of disappears into the mix. I like it when someone masters something that still keeps. Because ideally, all you want with a master is the mix, the sound.
All the peaks into radio level. That's all you want.
Well, there's radio level, there's vinyl level. But I'm saying just as a whole, you want it to sound fatter. You don't want to lose all the little bits. That's the beauty of mastering, when people can get it down to a crazy T where everything fits in this little pocket.
It's got to sound
over here there's this little crazy ad lib, and down here there's this thing, and it sounds like something's coming from here, and then the bass, and you know what I mean?
That's why I went to Pete as well. I mean, obviously we got loads of people that are sick here. One, obviously I've known him since I was a kid.
What, Pete Cannon?
Sorry, Pete Clough, the guy who does the mastering.
Yeah.
Obviously we've been friends since we were kids anyway, and it's not really been his type of thing. We sort of more had a bond over certain bands we both liked and what have you. He was older than me and all that anyway, so I just knew him from gigs locally and stuff. But he always had an interest anyway in what I was doing. So because he's got that band experience, that's why I was like, oh well, I'll see what he does. And he just came back and it was just it was exactly what I needed, you know. So I think I'll stick with him just for that, to be fair. And plus, it puts a bit of work his way too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, man. so that was that. And so yeah, so I'm working on something with Twizzy and Jinx as well.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier about originally the next Theatre Beast thing was going to be me. So we've always had that idea in mind that we should at least do a Twiz, Jinx and Bill thing.
What happened to Mav then? Like, did he stop rapping? Like what?
No, I think he. Well,
I haven't seen nothing from him.
No, I think he just he got married. Moved up. She's from York originally, so he moved up there. He was living in Highbury in London.
Yeah.
The whole time. So yeah, moved up there. They just had a little in now. Yeah, but because they're well up in York too, I guess he just. I don't know. I think he just needed to rebuild a bit. Like. Yeah. So I get that.
Reassess.
Yeah.
Make money. To be fair, I get that. Like, if I wasn't so deep in it, it would have been easy to slip back into just like, well, not back into, but into like a salary, and being like, yeah, fuck it, this is me. Like I can just work my way up. Or fuck that, man. I had to get out. Yeah. Because otherwise, that'd be me. Yeah. That'd be me.
That is it, isn't it?
Hey, yeah. But it's all been good, you know. It's all still good with Map. That's one thing. So I think I don't know. You know how things are.
Yeah, people speculate in it.
Yeah, and nah, man, everything's still good.
What's like? How many tracks deep you into that project with Jinx and Swizz?
Oh man, like,
is it like something that might be coming soon? Like, is it?
I don't know how soon it'll be coming, but.
I think it takes so long. The whole process is so long. I can't.
It's bad though, man.
Stupid question when you're making something for me.
I feel bad though with it because I work with them so much, and I felt real guilty with Twiz a lot because he'd tell me the name of the song and I remember the name of the beat.
Yeah.
So you know, like he'd be like, "Oh yeah, so you know Old Dog?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I'm like, "How's that go?" And I'm like, please don't take this personally, man. It's just because obviously I've done say with these now I've done a load of beats for them, and obviously they've named it a song now, and I'm trying to work out with the song, and especially when you're working on loads of other stuff, innit? Like I still think of it as that beat. Like,
you know what we had to do? Like Split Profits, we just started doing like anytime I get a beat off Mary, the name of the song until we fucking put the artwork down pretty much, with the name of the song is the name of the beat.
Right.
Just because otherwise...
Is that why? When I DJ'd for you, I think Luke was like going, play We Ain't Scared of You. And I was like, it's not on here.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not here.
Yeah, because it's the name of the beat.
Name of the beat, right, okay.
Every single time, man. The amount of times like, now I've finally got like a show saved on a memory stick, or a couple of memory sticks, and it's like, I plug it in, I've changed all the names, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy, it's numbered, or whatever, if I've got a show. But yeah, most of the time it's all
I remember that.
Even on EPs, I swear the Forecast EP, there was a couple of tracks on that EP. Yeah. I don't know if it was a couple, maybe it was one. Maybe it's not even one. I just know it's happened. Yeah. But like the track's been called the beat name.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. Yeah. But I had it the other way around when I was doing
The first track on my album is the beat name. It's called Beachy Winter. Because I sampled the Beach Boys. And I made it in the winter.
Brilliant.
And that's the name of the first track.
So you basically, in a way, do you do that a lot of beats where you have something that's not quite giving away the sample, but it's a clue for you to remember? Because that's what I do. I don't ever want to call it this and this sample, this and this sample. Yeah. I give it a name, to me, that'll indicate what the hell it was. You know what I mean? Or where it began, but it's cryptic enough not that people can pick up where it's from. Not that anyone's ever going to do that. I don't know who the fuck I think I am, really. Like, I'm not going to have fucking somebody dig through and be like, wait a minute, this must mean this song. But I still have to be a bit cryptic with myself.
No,
in a way.
But my formula doesn't work because I can never find my own tunes. My formula is definitely frauded. I'm like, if I call it this, I'll definitely find it. And then 2 days, you're like, what was that beat?
Yeah.
And then you search everything but what you called it.
I have to do it on date.
Literally everything. Yeah. Sometimes you do it so like, it's always that's why like my fail safe thing now is just call it like whatever it got sent to you as, unless it's like 1555 recurring.
I've got to save them in it from the beginning. So I'm like 9:15 Tuesday at 85 BPM. Fucking whatever.
No, I do look on the. I do just look on the dates now.
Date you have to search by date, and that's
But then I'll fuck myself over because I would have found like an old beat that somebody might want, and I've gone and opened that, and that just throws me out completely because I'm like, shit, I swear I made this 2 years ago.
Nah, that's open by. You got to do it by save by.
True.
That's the way.
So I'm fucking up already.
Yeah, if you do it by open buy, it's all the ones you open. But if you do it by save buy, it's when they got saved. That's the.
I know, but I've done something and saved it, so it still will be there. Yeah, but then I've already modified it because I've fixed something in the mix or done something, so I've saved again.
You can search by original save.
That's what I screw it, and I'm like, what? Yeah.
But yeah, actually, I use Ableton. You use a machine, you might not even be able to do the same thing.
But. Oh right.
I've got iMachine on my phone. I downloaded it for like £6.
Oh yeah,
it's like
version of it.
Yeah,
I never used it. I used it a couple of times.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
it's you got pads and shit.
Yeah, no,
it's like it's legit, but like I've never. It's been one of those things, you know, when you get a book and it just sits there.
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking bad for that, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna front. Like
I was speaking to Purpose the other day. Do you guys know Purpose Music?
Yeah, he produced for Composer. Yeah, man.
Saw them two last Friday, and he said to me, Purpose, he said, if you're free, like, you know, one day, can you come round and, like, I've got machine in it. And I was like, oh, what, like, to work on a beat? He's like, nah, show me how to use it. Like, do you know what I mean? Just one of those. I was like, you know, he's got to start on it, but you just need, you know, just wonder, you know, not saying he was completely like in the beginning, but you know, just one of those like, oh, sound. I was like, well, yeah, mate, definitely down for that. But I was thinking, fuck it, I don't know what he's been using in the meantime. Cause he's sick, man. Like, I fully rate
his beats are wicked.
Really fucking good.
Do you reckon the app will be like similar to the program on computer?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised though, man, because they put out a lot of old mate. There's loads of old synths and stuff they've put out as an app.
I know,
like old sort of reason.
But I had one on my phone the other day.
I don't know why the fuck I haven't.
I had one on my phone the other day through the fucking aux lead, and I could just record it into Ableton. It was like, wow, just the fattest like Moog 70 synth on my phone.
There's so much cool shit like that. The other thing I remember that they did when it came out at the time was like, you know, next level shit was that you could have like a app for Pro Tools on your phone to I think it was Bluetooth then to your computer. So if you're mixing. So it really is for studio stuff, but some people then it went into live sound, so you're controlling the desk and shit off your phone.
On your phone,
yeah. I remember playing at a really really quiet gig in the Isle of Wight, and but the sound engineer had one of them, and I was just like, oh man, he's such a pro, but he shouldn't be doing this for like 10 people in a venue. Like walking around,
I've had that in like a lot.
He's like looking around like this, and it's like, it's just Dex and the mic. But the fact he had it, I kind of rated him. You know, but it's like
I've had that in a lot of venues now. Like a lot,
it's
like
commonplace now, isn't it?
Yeah, proper commonplace now, like more than not. You know what I'm saying? You'll have someone like going around the room with all the fucking on an iPad now, with all the levels fucking with it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, if they're good and they know what they're fucking doing, it's a good tool. It's a good tool for them, and they do get a good sound.
I think it's fucking great because it does have, like, you know, how many sound engineers, I don't know how many I've seen in my time, they'll go to the back of the room, listen, change something on this, then at the front, middle, back, where at least they're there. They're not running back and forth, you know what I mean? And the same with the Pro Tools thing at the time. So if you're mixing down a track and, like, you know, the guy who had it was trying to just sort of hear it from being out and around, or if he was doing something and came back in, he'd say, all right, we'll just, you know what I mean? Because obviously they had a big sort of setup for it. In his home, he had a home studio.
Yeah.
So obviously he's walking about the house and stuff, and then he'd go back and just change what he was doing. And but I haven't really seen that become more as common as the live sound stuff though. Yeah. Live sound stuff seems to be, maybe it's just the price, isn't it? To be fair, I can't really imagine like making beats walking around my house being like, oh, that snare sounds a bit off. You know what I mean? I can't
it's mainly for like live shows, isn't it?
The live, that's what I mean. The live shows software's the commonplace one.
Oh right, okay.
The studio one ain't so much. It's good, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just I suppose because you are in the same room most of the time, I guess. But good idea at the time.
I played a show in France last year, at the beginning of last year, and it was outside. And the sound engineer, I've never had a sound engineer like in an outside show ever get it so crisp. Yeah. And he did it with that. And he walked around a bit, but it wasn't like overdone, do you know what I mean? It's just like you get certain people that just know their fucking sound, man. And you know who did it real sick? I don't know if you know Save Fire.
Yeah, I remember Save Fire.
Yeah, well, Save Fire had their own sound, man.
Right.
And their own like Chemical Ollie, bruv, and like
shout outs Chemical
Ollie. Shout outs to all them boys. Shout outs to Save Fire.
So I only know Mr. Fire.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
so-
this was Dave's room. This was Dave's. Yeah, this was Dave's room for a while, man. Dave lived here. Like I fucking love that guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's ace, isn't he?
he's a sick guy, man.
Yeah.
And but their whole thing, like, where was I going with that?
Soundman, Chemical.
Yeah. So they'd go to the show already with a soundman that they knew would deal with their show in the correct way.
Yeah.
And like that's really like if you get like a group or like your artist is popping or you're an artist who's popping or whatever, just fucking get a soundman.
Yeah.
Get someone that you like have a good relationship with, and like if you can, yeah. I mean, obviously this is something that I say, and like I don't have a fucking soundman. I'm not like cool enough.
No, but if you can,
if you can, I mean,
get a soundman.
Someone that's been to
Get
every
a soundman, man.
Man, how many people are
Yeah.
doing that on their tours and stuff? You know, like
Well, people who are serious about it, I reckon a lot.
A lot of people do, yeah.
If you're not serious about it, you probably just don't.
Yeah, but I heard of Devin Townsend.
Nah.
So like he's a musician, yeah. It's just basically whatever the fuck he feels like playing, sort of stuff. You can't really categorize it, but you know he plays a lot more like the rock festivals and stuff like that. But he makes some really cool music, man. It's interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
But his dad is his sound man, like his old man, and it's hilarious. Like, because he's just seeing this whole fella running about with the iPad thing as well, just sort of just on stage. He'll just appear behind him, just be like doing something, like run off again, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's got his old man doing that, and so yeah, there's a lot of bands where they do, or groups that take their own sound man sometimes, you know.
Those guys are so important, like in the scene, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Like, no one
Like,
really, they don't get their credit, man. They're
and
them type of people that run around and just make the whole show sick.
Yeah.
That no one sees,
No.
does it?
Like even with decor and shit.
Yeah,
It
all
goes
of
down
it,
for
yeah.
every like.
Yeah.
When you break down like a festival, even like or a night or whatever, like everything that goes into it, if it's a really special festival or a really special night or whatever, like
Sambala,
the
man.
amount of work and the amount of people that they'll never get recognition for it, apart from like among their peers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they do it because they love it and they want to make something special for other people to enjoy. Like I reckon there's a lot of fucking.
Grafters, man.
There's a lot of honour in people who build that shit and make it happen.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because they're like the silent ones. They're not the people performing. They're the people that are like,
but they're more
crudding it out.
They're
Yeah.
more important, man. Definitely is.
Yeah, that's why I like stuff like non-stop, man.
They're not necessarily more important. I ain't gonna lie, because like especially with hip hop, like that shit could be anywhere.
No,
like,
but what I mean is like without them people, like any person could headline the stage.
Yeah, you're right.
They
it's
hold it
equally,
together
it's
from
equally
the
as
front.
it's
Yeah, no, I know
equally
what
as they're
you're saying.
equally as important as the main.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
not
I got
like. Yeah, I don't know how I'm trying to put
Yeah.
that.
No,
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. No, of course.
they're equally as important, but they're not essential because you could make it happen. They're equally as important for that level of something to happen, like a festival.
But they
or
do make
fucking
it
like,
sick.
Yeah.
But
They
you
could
could
run
still
smooth,
make
innit?
something happen, and it would get shut down by police without them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make it smooth.
Smart people who can do business, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Nah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
that's
Unsung
what
heroes, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're the unsung heroes.
Oh yeah,
Them
definitely,
people,
man.
man. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, mate. It's like, yeah, non-stocks just like most of their stuff because it's like the right sort of size because it's still a small place.
Yeah.
There you go.
Time.
Yeah,
Never make it bigger, man. That's why I love my stuff.
that's what it is, isn't it? Right,
Non-stocks,
and then,
man.
but then you
That
got the.
festival was the best
There you go.
festival
It is, isn't
in
it?
the
It is,
UK.
man.
Man, I'll tell you something.
My
Right?
favourite
So
festivals
gutted.
I ever played with them.
I'm so gutted. I know
What?
that's-
What we're going about?
Well, we ain't. I'm never gonna play that. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you probably
Let's not
can.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But no, like I'll tell you something about the first time I played with Twizzy and Jinx and that. Yeah. So like, because obviously I grew up near there, innit? So we're playing on Garden Stage that year, and I'm fucking gassed. The fuck, I'm hyped about it. But
It's the one.
mate, we're running a bit late though as well, and I'm just like, no, because obviously I've said to my old mates that all still go there, like, you know, we're doing this thing and blah blah blah. Twiz is driving to the backstage bit, and he's stuck behind one of the 4x4s trying to go in, and I'm just panicking because I've got a Sep Serato as well. And Twizzy and Jink's like, no, it's fine. So you guys
they
are picking
don't
up mics,
understand,
yeah? I've
do
got a
they?
Sep fucking Serato.
Long
So
way.
I just opened the car door and I just bolted out the car and my bag and my Serato, and I just out the door, fucking legged it to the, because we were by the Garden Stage. So I just ran out across, and there's like, you know, a few people there, someone's playing, and I just hopped over the barrier, like, security are like, what the fuck fucking hell. I was like, nah, I'm playing like this band, showing it all this. And Ben Pierce just stood there and was just like, oh, all right then, Bill. Like, do you know what I mean? Because obviously I just hopped and rolled on stage with my bag and stuff because I was so, like, fuck, I set up, but I was so, like, I didn't want to fuck it up or I didn't want to not be there because it was really important to me, that's like my home crowd, isn't it? Yeah. And, so yeah, I ended up getting everything set up. Everything's just set up, and like Twiz and Jinx just casually walk on. Check 1 2, yeah, we're cool. Like, you know what I mean? They're good. And I'm just like, motherfuckers. But then this is when I first properly met Alana. I met her once or twice before, but Alana, that's when I first properly met her.
Hepburn.
Yep.
Yes.
And she just, mate.
She's my little big sister.
Mate,
I'm her big little brother.
She's just the fucking best, like, And I remember.
Shouts to Scott as well, man. Like, those two are my fucking... Yeah. They're my favourite people.
Man,
It's some of my favourite people, like, man. Those guys are fucking legit.
But yeah, because obviously I've been panicking like fuck to try and get everything set up and what have you too. And so yeah, she was just the best, you know what I mean? She was just like, she just came over and just put about like 6 beers by my feet and was just like, you need them. It's like, cheers, love, cheers. You know what I mean? And so, but I bought a bottle of whiskey in my bag. So, like, so I went from being really nervous about getting my shit set up and doing all this, and then I'm playing, and sure enough.
Fuck everything.
Not even quite. I just was like, I saw people, like, there's a few people I knew there that come to watch, so I'm feeling good about it. It's a fucking wicked set. I'm just necking this fucking whiskey and drinking the beers and da. I was fucking smashed by the time we finished. Like, absolutely bollocks. I started just DJing, right? Ben Pierre comes up and is like, yeah, Bill, like, you're done, because I thought it was like a normal gig, when you play the tube for the next person to change over. I thought I'm going to do that, so I start DJing. I actually playing the set, and he's like, no, we just shut everything off. It's a festival, and take everything off. I'm like, oh fuck. So I go and do all that, and I basically, because I was pissed, and bear in mind, I got there by fucking rolling over the stage to get in. To roll. I didn't know where I was when I was backstage, so I'm pissed up now. I've got all my stuff. I don't know where I am, so I'm like, shit. How the fuck am I even getting out of here? And I think, I've got a wristband. So access all those. I can just come through the front of another fucking tent. Fuck them. I'm going that way. So I hear music coming from this tent. I'm like, right there, go through there. And I, obviously getting a real stomp on, balls to the wall, stomping this room. And fucking these blokes just stood there. And this one bloke stood there smoking a fag, and he's just fucking cutting me a stare. And he's just like looking at me. Like, and it was fucking Huey Morgan and Fun Loving Criminals, wasn't it? But I walked into their dressing room.
I like you
because I thought it was a stage. I thought it was the back of a stage, and it was their personal dressing room for Fun Loving Criminals. And Huey Morgan just staring the fucking hole through me, and I'm just looking at them, holding my bag on this, pissed up. And I just look at them, and in silence, I'm like, "Does anyone know where the car park is?" And their manager's like, "Right, fucking get out," chuck me out, and I ended up just finding Twiz and Jinx later on. But so yeah, I had like the most sort of nervous start of it, and then an hour later I'm completely bollocksed, like, and just being chased off by Huey Morgan's manager. Like,
that's festivals, isn't it?
Not really that. Not really Fun Loving Criminals.
Yeah, true, but still, the story. I mean,
I think I'd be the same if some pissed up kid walked in like that. Fuck you.
I missed the fire, bro. Like me, that kid and Bill next year. Like, we got to Boomtown and we was all gonna break in. Ran over to the wall on some fucking Spetna shit, like torches going and that, like whatever. Get there. Yeah. I'm like, look, chuck me up and I'll pull you guys up. Yeah. So they got me on top of the fence, started trying to pull like Sam or Matt up, I can't remember whoever, whatever. And like a van started coming around the corner, like one of the security vans. They're like, no, duck down. I was like, yo, like jump up now, like just quickly just jump up or whatever, yeah? They're like, nah, fuck this, started running off, so I was like, fuck it, dipped over the fence, like landed in camping, yeah? And I was in the middle of camping, no clue as to where I was or who was, like, whatever. Yeah. Land, start walking, yeah, and just hear all this commotion and people walking towards the wall. And I'm like, alright, security, I'm fucking busted, yeah? So I'm hiding behind this tent, ready to split. And I just hear Dave's voice. And Mackie's voice, yeah, and like Mackie and Dave here, of all the places I literally landed 2 tents away from their tent, yeah. They're like, I was just like, no fucking way, like da da da, bump, whatever. Start walking into the festival, and we're walking past security now, yeah. And Dave turns to me and goes, yo, Sarah, you got any drugs? Yeah. And don't think anything of it, just in front of security, yeah? And I'm just like, nah, mate, like, what the I just fucking jumped in, like, carry on walking. 2 seconds later, they gripped me out, drag me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, drag me to the side. They're like, right, we're searching you. You just tried to sell him drugs. I was like, nah. And Dave was like, no, man, I asked if I could get some, like, and they searched me, yeah. Didn't check my wristband. Like, so they literally I just jumped in the festival, landed, yeah. Got baited out by Dave, yeah.
Yeah.
They searched me, they searched everything, but because it was so like blatant and I was so like calm about the situation, like I didn't even pay to get in, didn't even check my wristband. Walked into the festival, they were like, wait, they all just balled in, like.
Bad ones, man.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, I still never paid for a festival, man.
No, me neither. That's what it goes to them. So what you got coming up, like?
Got that Mercury show. Oh, we got tomorrow night. Obviously this ain't gonna come out tomorrow, so it don't matter. So in the past, played with Ono Capone. They're doing that tomorrow at Old England, and I'm DJing at the Skits and Burn show as well. Yeah, so it's weird. Well,
I might have to come to that. You know,
I was nearly
close to my end.
You played the Skit show as well.
Well, this is the thing, right?
I might come through to that,
mate. Like, you know, it will be alright at Old England, but it's early doors. Yeah. I've never known a gig at Old England be early doors.
Yeah, I know.
That's the rock
really
one, isn't it? That's the band. Well, that's the same thing as the Croft.
Really they
do the same thing.
Yeah.
Before Danny's thing the other night, there was a band, like a rock band or bands. There was a whole rock night before.
Oh, his album
early
launch.
Doors, and then it was his album launch, just like the Crofters. Yeah.
Oh, so they're doing that one, and then someone's doing the night after, right? Because I was like, when it was Traffic that's doing.
It must be that.
Yeah, because Traffic's doing the one with Joe and Skits. He said, do I want to do the warm up? You just need someone warm up first hour shit, you know. Bit of money, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, yeah, no, that's fine. Because I didn't properly check, but, you know, I spoke to Wish about it, so let me just speak to Wish. We won't be on round then. Nah, of course not, you know. Why the fuck would we be on around 9:30 is what we're thinking. And then the promoter sends him sets like, yeah, I want you both on at 8:30. We're like, what? Like, Old England. And so Wish is like, well now, like, Bill's doing a show down the road, like, Clues in the Names, doing a warm-up slot for them. Like, how are we, and then, but there, that's it, he said, oh yeah, night's got to be locked off by 11. So I've got to go do the full set with Wish, and then leg it down to there, do the warm-up for Attic, and then Wish gonna come with me, like, and then we're just gonna stay down there, I think. But, like, initially I was a bit like, I didn't think, do you know what I mean? It was weird, sort of going to do the live set and then go do the warm up at it. Like,
it's like go backwards.
Yeah,
like,
should be in that order. Should be in that order.
Like, go home and cook breakfast.
It's good to do now again, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's only because we just sort of thought, oh well, it's going to be like Danny's.
Yeah.
Old England's till whatever time, innit? That's what we thought, but obviously it weren't. So.
Yeah.
But it should be a good night there still. Like, just gonna be a bit running about, but oh well.
It's good, mate. You're getting out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're like a staple fixture in Bristol, like pretty much. No, but for real though, like.
Yeah, definitely.
Like every night.
Going all red boys.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like you're always playing at all different shows, like whether it's big shows, small shows.
Yeah.
Like it's a good thing to do, man. Like, it's like props, man.
I cheers, man, and I appreciate that as well. Because like I tell you what, I do think of sometimes, like. And I don't know if you guys do this, but I always think, man, if I could tell 12-year-old self what the fuck I'd done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, like, I always pictured
shit.
And, like, the one thing that, like, I've kind of rested my laurels on is the fact that when I picture it, like, everything that I've pictured so far up to the day today, like, I'm doing tenfold, almost.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
I picture stuff and I have, a realistic goal and, like, a end goal.
Yeah.
And like all the realistic goals up to the end goal are working. Yeah, so it's like I think like if we all do that kind of just the fuck the self-belief thing. You gotta believe in yourself 100%.
Definitely do, man.
Work for that shit.
Like, yeah. Definitely.
If you don't believe in yourself, you gotta realise that no one else is gonna do it for you anyway.
Yeah.
And then you'll end up believing.
And then you'll end up being bitter.
No, then you end up believing, innit? If you once you realise that it's only you, innit?
No, that's right though, man. That's so right. That's so fucking right as well. Because like, you know, when trying to put this diplomatically. But when I was releasing, always finding trouble anyway, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I used to talk to you a lot around that time because just there were certain things I felt like, I feel like I could do this, but I feel like I could do it this way and what have you. And then from then on, I did, because do you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying earlier. That's a learning stage at them times.
It's a learning stage, but it's also the self-belief stage, isn't it, as well? And being actually, I'm the person that believes in me more than anyone. If that makes sense, like.
Yeah, when you stop relying on like your peers or anyone around you to like tell you that your shit's dope or whatever, and
any
you
kind
believe
of
in yourself.
validation,
That's when you go forward. Like
that's it. Like, you know what I mean?
Without like. If you're like a measured person and you don't have like you're not too fucking overbalanced with arrogance and shit, and you know what I mean,
mate. Like, honestly, just little things like doing the merch and that. Would have never believed I would have done that, because there was always, you know, obviously I was always like, oh yeah, if I end up doing a crew, we could do merch. That's the standard, right? And I'd always be like, that's what I need. And then when Slevin did the artwork, shouts to Slev, man, he fucking smashed the artwork on that album. That's what he did. He just put my logo on the shirt on the guy, on the one he did of me, and I was like, well, shit, that's it. Just I could just fucking sell that. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't have to have nothing on it. Just this, you know. I was like, shit, that could work, innit? So I still thought, well, I'll test the waters, like, and I did a run of 10 or something, and they went. So I did another order.
You sold enough of them now, innit?
Man, I sold out of these, I sold out of white, I sold out of black, I sold out of the
you know what, this is what I'm saying about you doing the show and then going and running to do another show. This is what happens, when you do that shit. Same thing as what happened with SP, whatever, everyone was always about. And if you're doing that shit and you're putting yourself in these positions where you're like, even if you go through and you don't even play, even if you're just there because like, you just played a show and you're down the road and you're bumping into someone and like all of those little things add up to like people buying hoodies, people buying t-shirts, people like streaming your music. It's mad how much of that shit like will fade off real quick if you stop being present. If you ain't 100%. There and you're not fucking in the show or at the cypher or at the fucking local like headline or the US act or whatever, you need to be there.
Like, people support the work that they see.
Yeah, like that's one thing I'm looking forward to when I fucking get back to having time. Is like I'm gonna be back at shows and back at these places because I can see it myself. That if you're not there, you do start to fucking, you don't fall off because you're still doing your thing. But if you're not present somewhere, man, but it pays off. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're doing a run, selling them, doing another run, selling them. That's because you're going, in my opinion, going show to show to show. And like, I swear to God, it's the same with every fucking art form like ours, where it's like a traveling thing, where you're like doing shows in different places and stuff. Like, you need to be constantly doing those shows in those places.
You are.
And being different with it.
And being a face in it as well.
Just being a face, exactly.
Like, I've said this to some kid. So this is funny now, man. I get to the age and, you know, people might think it's bullshit or whatever, but you know, you sometimes do get some young kids come up and be like, oh, can you give me any advice? And I just say, be a face, mate. I said, like, just be around. If there's an open mic, go down. If you're on the decks, well, try and get yourself a set, or at least showcase people your beats. Just get yourself about. I was like, the fact that you're there, means that someone at some stage is going to go, oh, we'll have you open up this, or somebody, you will end up working with other people, or just be about, like Isaac did. Isaac was everywhere when he first came here, wasn't he? He was about fucking Blue Mountain, open up. I'd go down to Habitus as he was about. I was there when you met him at Stokescroft. He was just around, wasn't he? He knew what the fuck he wanted to do, like. And he did it.
Yeah, he had a very specific goal.
Yeah.
I think Isaac's had a very specific goal from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think he's hopefully on his way to that.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Yeah.
I wish him the best.
Yeah, he was like one of the examples I'd think of with these kids. Do you know what I mean? Just from seeing it from an outside point of view. You know, just like always there, always there.
He went from spitting an American accent.
Did he?
Yeah.
I remember he was in an old crew from Cornwall, like, wasn't he?
Yeah, I didn't know this until the other day.
I didn't know he told me. I didn't know he spat in an American accent.
Like, Skinsman dropped that on me. I was like, what?
Yeah, apparently so.
Like, he rapped in an American accent. Yeah, I never knew it. I was like, wow.
Yeah, better than the Cornish one, though, Oh man, that was a bit harsh. Sorry.
Yeah, none of this is edited. Like,
I know, I don't care. So he
What's
knows.
up,
He knows it's love. He knows
it's
it's
all
love.
love.
Whatever, is it?
It's all
good. Yeah, well, because this is a bizarre thing too. One of my ex-misses went to school with him.
Yeah.
So she was sort of like, how do you know Isaac? And so she told me about the old crews. And I don't remember him spitting in an American accent, but I do remember a thing of there's a few of them down there.
Like Skinsman goes way back, man. Like Skinsman, I got to quickly check. What time are we on?
Yeah, it's good.
2:58.
2:58.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so we should really wrap
this up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair shout. Stop taking the piss out of Isaac's American accent. No, I'm joking.
No, I ain't taking the piss.
No, we're not taking the piss. We love you, mate.
I didn't know it, man. Like he's a fucking ill rapper. Like I put my fucking money on it. I literally.
You literally
put,
did.
I literally
You did.
Put
100%, mate. No.
put money on it. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of love for the guy, man.
He's just doing the things I feel the right way in terms of like becoming that person around. Yeah.
It's popping on the street.
Yeah.
It's been popping around here recently. Sorry to fucking interrupt.
No, that's right.
But it's been popping around here recently, man.
St. George's live.
It's been popping around here recently. Yeah. It's been cracking.
Yeah.
It's like there's a crack house just around the corner from here.
Oh shit.
And like, it's so flames, like the way that they're all just like waiting out. And he might not even, like, to be honest, he might be shotting and weed. You know what I mean? People are fiendish for that shit nowadays.
Of course.
Yeah, or whatever.
But anyway, yeah.
Fuck it all. But yeah, so we never, like, the thing we usually do with these podcasts as well is we usually do, like, at the beginning we're like, and so, like, it's Billy Whizz and introduction, tell us about yourself. But we wanted to stop that, innit?
Yeah.
Because like rolling on and just talking is way better than starting.
It was cool. I suddenly had to realise a few minutes into it. Oh shit.
Yeah,
this is it now. Like,
yeah. We just roll
cool,
with it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Like,
and keep it like it's from the moment we start recording, pretty much. You know, there might be a bit of fraff, but yeah.
But anyway,
it's been good to have you on.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Cheers for say your socials as well, like Billy Whizz.
Oh yeah, like Billy Whizz Saint everywhere, really.
Yeah, but
I think Insta, Twitter,
spell it out.
Spell it. I don't know if I can spell it.
Nah.
No,
right,
no, okay, of course. But yeah, Billy Whizz. That's Whizz, WHIZZ.
Exactly. So some people
Saint,
might.
which is a saint, you know, holy.
So Billy, BILLY.
That's right. Yeah.
Whizz, WHIZZ.
Yeah.
SAINT.
There you go.
At everything.
Everything, man.
Yeah.
That's on. Yeah, find me on Facebook.
And you can
Facebook,
catch like,
Twitter, Instagram.
all your shit's on Spotify, right?
Yeah. Yeah, all of that's on there. Like my EP's on there. The stuff I've done with Twizzy's on there.
Yeah.
The stuff I'm gonna do with Wish will be on there. My next stuff's on there. Like, you know, I want to do some little remixes and stuff from time to time. Just something to put up.
Content.
On singles, just keep them going, just keep them up. Like,
yeah.
So that's what it is. Half government,
mate,
half nickname. Those ones.
Fucking killing it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely
one of like the most up people in the music game. Like,
it's got every flyer on it. Yeah, definitely.
Every definitely one of the most up. So
bless guys, appreciate that. Cheers.
Bless for coming.
Cheers for having me, boys.
Shout out, motherfuckers.
Shout
out to Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar, man. How you doing?
Every time.
You alright?
Holding it down.
Do you know what Rogue pointed out to me earlier? He was like, you know, before when I was like, it's Oscar fucking up, not filming. You were like, I'm gonna edit that out. You edited it out, you motherfucker.
Nah, no edits, bro.
No edits, bro. No edits, bro. No edits, bro.